scene. Tonight, that's on the Residox is...
Fuck if I know. Y'all get your asses
what's
in
on
here.
the Residox tonight, MT?
I forgot the what's up, buddy. This was totally scripted and totally went to shit. Welcome to the shit episode of Preparation Ape.
Yay!
Alright.
Hi, guys!
What's going on, gentlemen?
Oh, you know.
Gotta have my shit.
Oh, God, let me go get the keyboard.
Throwing my hat wherever it went.
So, yes, Major Tom, what is on the Residox tonight?
Alright, other than the obvious additions that are gonna add good conversation, we're gonna be talking about a couple things. Primarily, the last couple of weeks we've been getting a lot of video games. It's that time of the year, so you and Festus have had an opportunity to play some Mafia.
Yep.
Which I haven't played, but I'm very excited for. So I'm interested in y'all's
That
impressions
triple
on
Mafia, not 666, but triple Mafia.
Yes.
Like 3-6 Mafia?
No, yeah, I said that was the joke, but
Oh.
you didn't say Mafia 3. Continue.
The new Mafia. And I played through the Gears of War 4 recently. The Gears of War 4 is good. We'll talk about that a little bit. What's up, Zariella? What's up, Kurt?
Mr. Kurt Shane, how are you?
And, of course, got the PlayStation VR last night and, 15 launch games. So, haven't played them all yet.
How much did you spend on launch games, by the way?
I probably spent as much as you spent on the Vive total.
But legitimately, you
wow.
spent nothing because you got so much credit from those
Yeah, I
Wii
traded in a
games.
bunch of my Wii U, physical games. So, yeah.
You actually traded in games?
Dude,
I'm shocked.
he got,
We're not
I
gonna
thought it was
spoil
300,
Mafia.
but
By the way, don't you think we should introduce who our guests are?
Well, that's DKP and Major Tom.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they did open the show, didn't they?
I thought we opened it flawlessly, but that
It
might
was-
just be my opinion.
It was good. I just...
It was a little choppy. We didn't
I
rehearse
was
it at all.
unable
It
to
was
fathom
kind of
how you
improvised.
didn't know where to go after that. So,
Well, I got the first part y'all told me. Y'all didn't tell me that we had to keep on going with announcing
Yeah, it's
what
still there.
topics.
So this is the best, as you can see, we're in a transitionary period here. Major Tom,
Yo.
things look great.
Yeah, this is the best slides we've ever had.
Best slides, I mean...
I'd say y'all did some major work for the past 2 days that I've been here.
oh, yeah,
And
we've
And
been
I just
working-
got blown away is what
Put-
I've been.
This is the most tirelessly we've ever worked on preparation.
Yeah.
Ape. Didn't even actually play VR.
I was
or
impressed,
VR.
actually. It was
We
the
didn't
first
have
I've ever
time.
seen
I mean, do you
guys
see
work,
the quality of
and
the
just the amount
slides?
of vigor that you put into it?
Yeah.
So,
Amazing.
who are you?
I am Techaslade, aka Festus to some, but on the stream, mostly Techaslade is how most people would
In
recognize
Twitch, you're
me.
Techaslade.
In Twitch, I am Techaslade.
Who's this little person way in the back?
So, on Twitch, I'm Valakalaris. Everybody knows me as Val.
Ooh,
So, greetings to all of you.
Greetings.
Man, I love this new ape face logo we got, though.
Yeah.
I defy. That hurts. That hurts.
That's actually the first time I've seen that.
Oh, it's tremendous.
Idify says, no.
We paid a
Fetus.
pretty penny
Well,
for that shit.
All right. Well, Fetus was
It's all right,
Festus,
I call him
Fetus, or
Fetus, too.
Techaslade, whatever anybody prefers.
Whatever it is, there's no
What's up, man?
apologizing
You a
here,
little
Chain
comfortable?
Sight.
What's up,
That
baby?
them there are the rules. So what do we have on the agenda? We got to get
Talking
to
about
it, man.
Mafia, talking about Gears, talking about PlayStation VR, and then we have a couple of topics that we're going to talk about at the end of the show. So
All right.
let's jump right
So
in.
we got Valakaloris and Festus.
Or
Or-
Fetus,
or
whatever.
Techaslade.
Whatever
What do you-
identified a perv.
What do y'all want to go by?
I don't care. I got
Everybody
3 different
calls me
names.
Val,
They
so
can
it's
call me
like
whatever they
whatever.
want.
I don't care what they want to go by.
No apologizing to whatever these
Yeah.
people call me.
What's up, Batman?
Mr. Badman.
Good to see you,
how are you?
Batman.
All right, fellas, let's do this. We're going to move
51, we're
right on.
bringing it.
You know, we did put in a shitload of work to this one.
You can obviously tell with this first slide, like, the quality of the show has skyrocketed.
It's never been higher.
It's never been higher.
Believe it or not, it actually looks like you put a lot of fucking work into this slide.
So much.
It's no, you would think so, but it's actually just the Dat Boy that's in there.
I was about to say,
No.
the glorious Dat Boy falling from the tree, just
Yeah.
superb.
He's not, no, he's unicycling up the tree.
Up
All right, well then that's even better.
Oh,
Yeah, it's almost
He
like
transcends all
it's not
walls.
quite no clipping mode, but you know.
I mean, he
He's
did save me
unicycling-
single-handedly.
He's unicycling on the leaves then.
That's fair.
All right.
You can do that. in video
Kurt
games.
says, I feel like they split intermission guy into 2 separate people to get these two. That's pretty fair. That's pretty fair.
And yeah, we have a lot of production quality in this episode as well. Case in point. And look at that.
Whoa.
Give me them ribs just by seeing the screen.
Wait, am I
You're lucky
on
you're so
rib
far
duty?
away. Well, for me,
He can't. Yeah, he can be
Yeah,
on.
all
everybody.
you got to do is say !ribs, and I'll
all right.
fucking do that shit.
Or you could just rib me, and then I'll rib you, and it'll be like a
Okay.
rib chain.
Yeah, like
Okay, we'll do like the wave.
conga line.
Okay.
What's up, Lord Barbecue?
Rib getting?
Come
Human
on, everybody,
centipede
to see
style,
that
that's
ribba.
cool.
Those effects. I'm in awe.
It's
says the
incredible,
Fox.
isn't it?
I see. He knows.
All right, so let's talk about Mafia 3. I haven't played it yet. Very excited for it. No spoilers. We're not getting into spoilers. I'm just interested in.
There's another Dat boy. I just saw. Sorry, go on.
My man.
So I'm interested in what those of you who have played it. What do you think so far? What do you like about it? What are the issues, if you have any, with it? And don't spoil it.
So,
Let
first
me
off, let's address the elephant in the room here
I can.
about Mafia 3. I would be willing to say this might be the most uncomfortable voice acting many people have ever had to do.
I'd say that too. If you're like a white voice actor on Mafia,
I thought that so many times. I was like, I wonder how many times they're like, I don't feel like my character would say that. See, I know character of cop number 6. I don't think I would say that. And
So-
it's like, yeah, no.
It's
So-
like racially.
but that's what I love about it. Like it is.
You want to refine that statement?
Well, I know where he's going with it. We got that ESP
Yeah.
mentality.
Continue.
So yeah, the thing is, and a lot of reviewers have mentioned this, and this is one of the things I was most excited for was New Orleans, new setting, right?
Yeah.
And New Orleans in '68, which is even like more like you've never seen this before.
Yeah.
And it would be
It was a really
extremely
weird time in our history.
it would be extremely easy for them to make it like hacky and over the top, like just whatever. But like it's done how I guess.
Tasteful.
Well, I don't know about tasteful, but
Authentically.
yeah, which a lot of reviewers have pointed out where it's like, yeah, this was a part where they really could have fucked it and could have been awful, but it's done in a way that's kind of historically accurate.
I have seen like the very first thing you see when you turn the game on is like, hey,
Yeah, it does
just
say
be
that.
prepared. Like this was a really weird time in our history, and we're trying to be as authentic to the time and place as possible. So be forewarned. There are going to be some things that may be deemed.
Point was that the I can just imagine
on your shorts.
I can just imagine
shorts, baby.
Should have traded pants, like we were talking about.
the voice actors, like, oh god, like really, like. But so yeah, apart from that, Lincoln Clay as a character, and I said this like from the trailers when we first started watching it. I was like, I think this will be the next like Tommy Vercetti main antagonist. Badass, we really like him, and he has done that. The only part is, and yeah, Batman said 7.5. What I said earlier was a 7, right? Is that you don't get enough of him as a character.
Yeah,
he's used very sparingly, where it didn't need to be necessarily. Like you play as him all the time, sure, but kind of the problem is his actual scenes and dialogue. They could have done a lot fucking more with. Now, what's in there is already great. All right, all the actors are wonderful. But here's the gist of the game, and I'm saying all this, but I still fucking actually really love this game, which is weird, right? Because I'm gonna be saying a lot of negative shit about it, but like, at the end of the day, I still really fucking enjoy this.
But
game.
you're just a critical person. I mean, that's
Well, this is like
why I trust half of the shit you say. Actually,
Yeah, you
and
gotta,
the other
you gotta go
half,
half.
no fucking way.
There's a masterpiece of a game right below about a Knuckles deep worth of like shit that you just gotta. Because this game, if it had 6 more months, I think they could have done a lot with it.
I completely
more.
agree. If they had just a little bit more time, 3 to 6 more months, they could have nailed all the bugs that people are complaining
So
about.
it's bugs. So that's kind of my question.
All right,
It's
I like from what I played, and I'm about 15 to 20 hours in. There are a good amount of bugs. I haven't really necessarily like taken the time to look at the mirror
what are
bug.
some of the examples of?
Lighting is a big thing.
Okay.
Like say, like after it rains and stuff, like
Oh,
the lighting looks.
cloud coverage.
Yeah,
shoots
it just-
by at about 1,000 miles per hour.
It looks just really trippy. And like there are little bugs and stupid stuff in that game that, for 2016 open world game should have been taken care of. But I'm with DKP. Like at the same time, the story is so good that it compels me to move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, the general structure of the game And like I said, we're not going to get into story stuff. But the general structure of the game is this. So, of course, if you watch the trailers, you know, hey, you got to kill Sal Marcano, right? I'm taking over the city. So there's districts, whatever, etc. And, you know, you have to draw the person who runs that district or whatever that you want to take over out of hiding. So the way that you do that is you attack all their shit, right? You make a big problem for them. That way they come down to answer to somebody or whatever, and that's when you go in, do whatever you need to do. Now that might sound like a story spoiler, but that is the structure of every single district.
And there's some like
in
monotony.
the whole game. Right? Now, here's where shit starts to break down just a little bit.
Hold it real quick. I just want to hit a couple comments.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Idify says, God damn, Val's a sexy beast. Batman says, it's
Hey.
not a bad game.
He's a handsome fella. I'll tell you.
but
He
gets
is.
real
That's
repetitive.
right.
I love the way the story is told.
I'm opening the other part.
The
gunplay and
and executions are fun. I also love how aggressive the cops can be. Gino Damien. What's up, Gino? Haven't seen you in a
What's
while.
up, man?
Mafia 3. I don't like it for me. It's Mafia not Afro-American, only Italia. Hey, best streamer.
I don't know how that
Batman
translates
says,
in German, but
I agree with DKP. It's a lot of bad stuff I can say
I'll-
about it, but I love it. Pep says, seems like bugs are becoming more common in games that are released these days. Adfa says, I like how Fetus is complaining about bugs. It looks like he eats bugs.
I've eaten dog shit.
Pep says
Never a
y'all
bug.
expect them to
Well,
patch
no,
it.
I still think you should just randomly like act like you're picking something out of your beard and just like look at it.
I ain't
Don't
gonna
even
lie, like,
break character. Just keep the conversation.
I've
going.
had beard longer than this where I taste stuff 2 hours.
Yeah,
later
you
after
told
I've
me.
eaten
You
it.
told me not. What is it? Chili con queso from Mexican restaurants is amazing. The next
It
day.
it really is. I mean, you're not lying.
Pep says, y'all expect them to patch to improve this. Like, it'll be a much better game.
Well,
in
the
6
devs
months.
are actually on Twitter saying
Yep.
they are not just patching like crashing and compatibility, but like AI. They are saying like they're working on all this shit still.
I mean, one of the complaints I had, which is a stupid minor complaint, but customization, like being able to change clothes or change how your character looks, and they said they're putting a patch for that for free.
Yeah.
I don't know when it's coming out, but they are doing it.
I don't think customization is ever.
It's not
I've
that big
never
of a
even
deal,
thought
but
about
I
it
mean,
in the
like,
game,
all
honestly.
right,
if it's not there, I don't think about it.
Well, I played Mafia 2 recently,
Uh-huh.
and Mafia 2 has the ability
Okay, then
to
so you were
change
expecting
clothes
it.
and like
Understandable.
not like
Well,
not
Well,
like
it's kind of like
a game
would say,
Mirror's
but-
Edge. I'm playing the new one of that, and all of a sudden, it dawned on me. I even posted it in the Facebook group. I said, all of a sudden, they're not. Where the fuck are the guns?
Yeah.
You know, had I not played the original, and now that I'm playing Catalyst, I would have kind of, no big deal. But now it's kind of, I'm like, now this is just a fucking parkour game. But anyway,
But with Mafia 2, like as many complaints I have, the game it compels me to keep playing, so I
Yeah.
can't hate on it too bad.
Kurt says, I want to like Val, but I'm getting a serial killer. I'm assuming he says serial killer 5.
yeah,
I
you're right.
also want to like Fetus.
You ever watch Dexter?
And I cannot pinpoint what kind of person he is.
Not the kind of person
Just-
you want to know.
just give it-
personally.
Just
Nope.
give it 30 minutes. You'll understand him very well.
No.
And Idify says you dress too professional. You came straight from work.
I came
from
straight
Houston.
from work.
Oh,
There-
There's
literally.
professional right here with these collared shirts and rolled up sleeves.
We got homeless,
That's
and then we
right.
got
We got
you
the
know,
dark emo black kids,
So-
black shirt wearing kids.
Yeah. So the thing is, all right. So in Mafia 2, what really worked about being able to change outfits was kind of like in the very beginning of Goodfellas, right? When he shows up and he's like, "Look at my suit, Ma." She's like, "Henry, get in here. You look like a gangster," right? You go from driving a cab in Mafia 2 to like working with these guys, and you look like you're wearing the old suspenders, the fucking hat, and the the vaudevillian, sort of Groucho Marx attire, and then like
Same.
you start making fucking money, and then you buy a suit, and then it's like the more you do like that kind of ramps with your character. Now for Lincoln Clay, that would not make sense though. Like he's not dressed to impress necessarily.
It's a revenge tale. for
Yes.
him. Straight revenge.
So while I'm with you on that, like 100%, like it'd be very cool to be able to do whatever. Maybe even like a haircut. Maybe I want to be bald or whatever, right? I wouldn't really give a shit as much about changing his clothes in this one. But that's not excusing it, saying that it shouldn't be there. It's an easy issue.
And I wouldn't have that big complaint about it if, like, maybe he changed clothes throughout the storyline, but you're not going to be wearing the same clothes for however months the storyline takes place.
You could.
You could, but that would be like Grand Theft Auto 3, where your character never changed
Yeah,
clothes.
Batman brings up another point. The AI is pretty bad at times,
It
especially when you
is
call in the police. To
horrible.
that allies stop fighting, get stuck in the walls. Yeah. So Here's what I was being based on time: midlife crisis, serial killer, hobo, neo-Nazi. Man, you can be anything.
Oh,
We're a nice diverse culture here.
Apparently, nobody ever knows you wear shorts, Major Tom. Everyone's shocked.
Yeah, it's really
like your
funny.
legs are
Everybody's shocked I'm wearing
disgusting.
it.
Actually,
But,
I don't wear shorts unless they're gym shorts.
I actually wear shorts like 99.9% of the time. We just only get.
We were actually talking about before the stream started if we should change pants, and he wasn't down for that idea, and now he's reaping what he sows, obviously.
And Jenna Damien, I think I'll give you a slight. English is not Jenna Damien's first language. He's actually residing over in Germany.
Well, I think the second to last comment.
He's been on many times.
Probably speaking about me.
Yeah,
cool.
I do not think
stupid
that is what it looks like. So I just wanted to point that out there.
So here's Kurt's opinion of all of us, based on how.
Okay.
Midlife crisis.
It was a request from
serial
the audience,
killer, hobo, neo-Nazi.
What, I'm a neo-Nazi?
Which do you think it's neo-Nazi?
I think I got the
Look at
best
those
out of all
glasses.
four. I'll
That's
take
the midlife
hobo.
crisis.
I thought I was hobo.
No, I like
You
the
are the
serial
hobo.
killer.
All right, well,
idea.
I'm okay with that.
He's a serial killer. You're the hobo. You're
Actually,
the
what's funny
neo-Nazi.
is in high school, a lot of the kids looked at me and said, "Yeah, you'd be the serial killer of class."
That's right, man. I'm
So it's like, I guess
glad
it's
for
a
you to-
fucking trend or
I'm
something.
glad for you to drop that bomb on us here.
But I completely agree with you. The AI is awful. Like, and like
What
what
we
was
done
said was
here's,
really bad.
Here's the biggest thing about it, though, and it can be, the AI can be as shitty as it wants to be, permitted it's not shitty to a player's disadvantage. Like, if the AI was somehow omnipotent and shot me through walls, I would fucking hate this game, right?
All right,
But the AI being stupid and allowing me to progress through the game, it sucks that the AI is bad, but it's not a detriment to me enjoying it bad. I'm just happy the pendulum didn't swing the other way of it being broken to the point where it's fucking. You know what I mean?
But good
I
AI
agree,
can,
but I
like,
mean-
can improve a game dramatically.
Well,
if
like-
you have, if you
it
have like
can,
a
I'm
good
just
game
saying, like,
and they have great AI.
There's two different types of bad AI. Like one where it's way overclocked. They didn't.
One's
tune it to
forgivable.
where one has like aimbot and just fucking headshot you immediately. You have to do the same mission 1,000 times. Or this one, they're just absolutely fucking stupid.
They are, and that's my biggest issue. Is like you can stab an enemy AI right in front of one of their homies, and they don't even pay attention to it. Like,
Yeah, they see you. They
they
walk
see
out.
like yank one of their boys in the head with a knife, and like, huh, that's cool.
Yeah, there was one particular part where I kept doing the whistle like the, and they come watch, and there was a pile of dead corpses. I mean, like six
Yeah,
guys.
that same issue.
But like, it doesn't bother me that much. You know. Do I think it's excusable or great? No. Is it making me enjoy the game less? No. That's not really. We talked about that. We talked about this before. Mafia games in general, you don't play for phenomenal gameplay. You play for the story, which this does tremendously.
Yeah. I think you said something earlier that I really liked. Is subjectively the game is bad, but objectively the game is amazing. So,
I don't know anybody personally who hates it.
Yeah.
I know everyone can agree. Like, yeah, no, it needed like another 6 months probably. But what it does right well enough to at least make up for the rest of it.
Yeah.
So before we hit the rest of the comments, I'll give my last kind of thoughts on it. When you were saying like bugs and production quality wise, right? So the cutscenes in which you see like Lincoln talking to people that are fully mocapped are great. Unfortunately, though, the other, I'd say like 40% of them is literally like one model and another model with one static camera angle, with them just sitting there talking to one another, not doing anything, and then you just walk out.
What's
It's
funny
like,
is I didn't notice that because I've been watching you play it.
Yeah.
I haven't noticed that until you actually brought that up.
but that was something I was like, I feel like they meant to put more animation and mocap and, you know, for these characters.
Either
like,
blew the budget or they ran out of hours.
So you can see definitely like this is certainly a game that just needed fucking a little bit more time. But apparently they're going to keep hopefully fixing it. And even then, it's worked pretty much flawless for me on PC, which I know is not that way for a lot of people. So I consider myself very fucking lucky on that one. You know, I'm still enjoying it. So fuck it, man.
You know, I don't want to sound like hypocrites though. We were talking about Mafia. over like there are a lot of games that were like it's a broken piece of shit. I'm never gonna play it, like because it's broken or because it has problems. That a lot of games or issues that are similar to Mafia 3 has. What kind of separates Mafia though is like the stuff that's good in there is, and this is me playing 1 and 2. This is me not having played because 1 and 2 suffered a lot of similar issues. Like I recall in Mafia 1 shooting characters like point blank with a shotgun. So they've always kind of had issues, but the writing, the story, the like visual aesthetic of the time, like their ability to nail time and place has always been so fucking good. The music in Mafia 1 and 2 were incredible. Very confident it'll be good in 3.
It's good, except for the ones that it's like the whole gramophone sound.
Yeah, but that's fitting for that time.
But what's crazy is it only has like...
That's your whole game, though.
It only has like 3 radio stations, right?
Yeah, well, there's 4, I think.
But they still nail... Like, I mean, I don't know. The time period they nail for
the soundtracks are good. The social commentary that happens, like, between songs is good. But once again, I feel like there was meant to be a transition between the guy being like, protesters today demonstrated a course for equality, and then it's down now immediately. There's no like transitionary on WQRB or whatever, and I feel like that was probably intended to be cut in there at some point.
Yeah,
but it wasn't. It's little things like that. Like I said, there's a masterpiece of a game right there, but you just gotta like take 2
Me
fingers
personally, I
and
think that's
scrape.
an over-bit analytical for it.
I hear what you're saying, though.
But I see what you're saying. It's stuff that just sticks out in your head.
These are just
that
all
takes
things
away
I
from
noticed
the game experience.
that, like, yeah.
Is it worth
it distracts you a little bit from what you've been...
Well, what I mean is,
especially
like,
when they get so much of it right.
All of these things, had they just been in, had they had a little bit more time, would have aided the experience of the game tremendously.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, actually, I said last point earlier, but here's like one of my last ones. Mitch and Variety, which a couple people have mentioned here. And we're going to hit the comments here in just a second. We'll let Festus, of course, get in his last word on this as well.
All right.
But Mission Variety does suffer a lot. In some ways that I think is kind of, I don't want to say not excusable, but it's like, okay, the very first trailer that the game ever released, right, consisted of Link and Clay meeting, I guess I want to say capos.
The lieutenants.
Lieutenants, sure.
That's what they're called.
And then I'll get to our 2 German fellows they've met. Now they're shit
not
talking
reading
us.
those comments.
Anyways, we could read them, but we don't know what the fuck. We just
Anyways, Sean Stwatz.
The very first one is them feeding a guy 2 fucking alligators, right? Yeah. Now in the game, if you're in the bayou area, you can pick up a body and chunk it in the bayou, and alligators will eat it. So it's like I don't understand why there wasn't one mission where it's like, hey, look, maybe it's a police officer, and universally it's like if you kill a cop, that's when heat really starts to come down. So we need this guy gone. He's corrupt, whatever, right? But they can't find the body. And someone's like, wow, I know of a way we can get rid of bodies by at least. Drive on down to the gators down there, right? Some shit. So you have to go kidnap this guy, just drive down, feed him to the fucking gators. Obvious, right? The mechanics, you can do that yourself and just make up the narrative. But the fact that there's not even any missions like that in the game, it's like...
At least so far.
I'm pretty fucking far in.
So far. I mean, how far? I mean, I feel like...
I've played 20 hours so far.
See, I was 15 or 20 hours, and I feel like I still got a 15 or 20 to play. Easy.
But, like I said, it really is very much the same. Luckily, where you're taking over each part, right, is in a different environment, different part of the city. You might go from the ghetto to the bayou to downtown to, like,
Rock
French
quarries.
Court. Yeah, or rural area. So, luckily, the scenery changes enough that, it's not that big a fucking issue. But that's what I got to say.
All right, my last deal on it is when the game is at its best, it's phenomenal. But when it's at its worst, it is a mediocre game. That being said, like, I wouldn't spend the $60 to play this game, but if you want to rent it at Redbox or something like that and knock it out in 4 or 5 days, I'd recommend
it. I would say if you don't want to buy it now, or you don't want to spend money on it, wait till it's fixed and then do it.
I'm about to say, I got twins in daycare. I'm gonna wait until it comes out, and it's a little bit.
Wait
cheaper.
until they've either fixed some stuff, maybe added some features in. I don't want to say just rent it and don't give the devs money, because the guys who made it, I don't blame Hangar 13 for it. Right? It's probably 2K as the publisher that was like, yeah, no, You gotta fucking push it out, right?
There's a lot of fucking things involved in
But
releasing a game.
So, yeah.
Constraints are a big portion.
But like I said, if you're willing to just wait, I'd say wait a good while until they've fixed a lot of the problems, and you probably have a better experience with it.
Yeah. Let's hit some comments.
Honestly,
and we'll
from
move
what
on
I've
to
seen,
another
it hadn't been that.
All right. So Adify says, "Gotta remember the time period. Minus all Mafia 3 faults, it's still a fucking fun game. Yeah. It is." Mr. Curtin says, "Yeah, you'll stab someone and it'll stun the nearby enemy's AI, allowing you to dash over them and stab the fuck out of them, rinse and repeat." I can never get the
Dr. Butt says, the only thing I hate about Mafia 3 is the repetitiveness of
Can't
those
disagree.
Those static scenes are annoying.
Lots of German. Kurt says, Kurt spent $100 on loot boxes in 2 days. I
Lots of
understand your
German.
Star Trek and Star Wars mobile game addiction, Major Tom. Amen.
No
Shit happens.
offense to lots of German.
What's the next progression for the Mafia series? Vegas. I would like. I know
How have we not gotten a game in Vegas yet?
Well,
And I feel like with current gen consoles, with particle effects and neon lighting and shit, how they do it really well.
I was about to say,
Now would be the time to do
Vegas 1960s would have been perfect, honestly.
well, I feel like
that was like the height of probably the 1970s. That was like the height of the Mafia.
that's what I think they're going to do next: is 70s or 80s.
Yeah,
for sure.
that's what I'm saying. Based on the progression, like the first one was 20s, 30s, 40s.
Mhm.
Second one was 40s, 50s, early 60s.
68,
This
I
one's
think this one
60s
takes place.
and 70s. So like 80s makes
Well,
the
this
most
one takes
sense.
place, I think, all
And-
just in like a series. I think this one takes place in a matter of months.
I
actually.
thought all but 1968 is when it takes place, right?
Yeah.
All right, there you go. So
So
I feel like
I-
the next one's going to be 70s.
And I feel like the time that most is most fitting, and I know we've kind of done a lot of games in this time and place, but like 80s, like Miami.
I
think
feel
something
that
like
would be
that
too
would be-
much close like Vice City. I feel like the smart move would be do Vegas maybe in the
Yeah,
70s.
we've had Miami. I can't think of a single open world game like this that's been in Vegas. Though.
Yeah.
Because 80s would be too, like you said, Vice City. 70s hadn't been touched by
Anybody.
I can't think of a single game that's done.
You know, honestly, as well, at the very opening mission in Grand Theft Auto 5, when you're in, what is it, Wisconsin? Or
It is
and
like
then- and
it
then
is like
after-
Fargo type.
and then after
town.
watching Fargo season 2 with like the
Yeah.
Kansas City mob and all that, like
That would be amazing.
I wouldn't mind a fucking something like that.
That would be amazing. Yeah,
Problem with that is like I feel like the only good environment is like snow environment where people would want variety.
but you could have like a really solid forest. Like you could create a really solid forest.
True that.
Where you, like,
I have
take
no
your
idea
lots
what
of
the
kills.
Yeah. Now, Fots, Geno, you guys are fine. That's why I made the distinction. He said, you guys are a long time, of course, friends of the channel, and that's why I said that. Not because I misunderstood. Right, etc. You guys are golden, baby. Good night, A Canada. Pev says, sounds like DKP is writing the Mafia 3 DLC. Well, hopefully, I think one of the DLCs they've already announced a while back was Vietnam DLC.
Yeah, I'm all about that. That's
Which
like the
will be
part I want to
fucking
learn about them the
awesome.
most.
Let's see. You remind me of a video. People were on a boat tour. Saw some pigs and ended up luring it. Can I read? Luring one into the jaws of a gator with crackers.
Awesome.
As you can see, I got
You know, I like Festus redneck
I
opinions. Adify
I
says.
hope he's talking about me.
He
when
is.
says
I
that.
watched when that comment came up. We were just, so we were gonna hit it a little bit later.
Mafia games are like $20, $30 games for me typically. Anyways, now I have to wait till it's even cheaper due to a new life. This is the only game where I didn't buy the season pass in a long while, says Kurt. Adify says, I asked TKP if it was worth buying. He recommended it, so I bought it.
Oh. Well, Adify's having a great time with it. And I do think it's worth buying. And by the way, at that time, I had played like 8 hours. I
can't
played
say
like almost double or triple that now, and I just didn't know the mission would be the same. But if you like it up to 8 hours in,
Yeah.
you'll be fine for the rest of the game.
All right, I would say that because I just rented it, but like I've been playing at least it'll probably be 10 days worth by the time I get back, so it'll be $60.
That man says,
Or
2K also put out their WWE game this week. It's glitchy as hell, but it's fun. Man,
Maybe that's a trim with 2K. I'd
Maybe.
never noticed, I guess.
Pep says, Interstate 76 was a great 70s game. It was super retro. Wrestling 2010 was the last good that comes from 2K, says Gino Baby.
WCW versus NWO.
Amen. Thank you. I was about to
Yeah.
say the
No,
last
N64.
one I enjoyed was that one. I think WWF came out right after that, where you could build your own character, and you
Yeah.
had more fun
WrestleMania
building
was
the
good.
character than you actually had wrestling.
WrestleMania 2010, I already read that one. Just, Bot says, Gino Demi just said that 2K are the worst and they destroyed a wonderful game on Mexican wrestling. Comment was perfectly timed. out of 5. Personally, I'm loving it, and I haven't noticed any glitches.
Good for you, man.
I do have to say, how do you mess with wrestling?
But I know a lot of people are bitching about like
Nancy
the
Grace
mirrors in the mirrors.
The Ultimate
They were
Warrior
bitching about
died.
that in
Yeah,
Mafia
I saw
3.
that.
And it's not like I'm sitting there having my character look at his reflection in the mirror. Like if you're doing that, you're a peon. Like play the game. Come on.
That being said, there are games like on PS1 that did that correctly. It's just one of those things where it's like, maybe they just didn't have time to get that right, and it was low priority since there aren't very many mirrors in the game, right? Yeah, it's just one of those things that just says like, all right, this needed more time.
Yep. Kurt says, "Holy hell, Festus and I."
I just saw that.
Adopt me so we can be brothers. Ironically enough, Val has the same first name as well. Batman BioShock Remastered also has problems on PC.
Imagine it Fetus Ryan.
What?
If you're gonna say something, don't whisper it.
Well, I'm assuming that if our first names are James, not really Fetus or Festus. I was just planning to be named Festus, but my mom wouldn't allow it.
Well, fucking good on her.
Yeah, it was kind of a joke from her dad. He was going to name his little sister Miss Kitty.
Miss Kitty. Gunsmoke, I guess that was the name of these characters were from.
Your dad is horrible. Isn't he?
He is.
I've known this.
horrible,
I've known
but
this
lovable man.
homeless guy
Makes good
since I was 3 years old. So
2, I think.
you were 2. I was 3. That was the first one.
We're pushing 30 years, right?
Y'all wanna get a hotel room and make out or what?
I mean, if
we're
they
going
want,
to
if the people
afterwards.
want to see that, then we're willing.
I mean,
to
Listen,
see it.
we'll
VKP's
YouTube
out of
it.
town.
I mean, I think they'll take it quick.
you guys can go fuck in our bed. I'll wash the sheets and I'll sleep on the couch here.
You want to go?
It'd be the first time
It's
they've
the
been
least I
watched.
could do for guests coming all the way from Houston.
again.
I'm comfortable with my sexuality. These two obviously aren't.
What? I'm not comfortable.
Oh.
Wow.
I was about to say, in 30 years, you think
I've
we
never
haven't
seen-
seen each other naked?
I've never seen that from the outside looking in when you're doing it to someone
It's
else.
great, right?
No, it's still awful and obnoxious.
Here, just reach over, give him some ribs.
Wait.
No, that's not a rib
You got
thing.
It kind of
that's
is.
not? Okay. I'm
So
ready.
it's fucking Major Tom.
All you got to do is exclamation mark ribs.
Chief
I'm in.
Poker
Alright.
says, "Who farted?"
Well, we got something for you later, TV Poker. Stay tuned, man.
Let's keep going.
All right. Lastly on this,
That's the first slide.
very
We're 30
lastly
minutes
on
in.
this, I think that the lack of mission variety does not do Lincoln Clay's character kind of justice.
Yeah.
Because I would, maybe all of his expertise that he talks about, right? You never get to really explore further. It's just, hey, here's what you do, go do your thing. And it's in the game world where he's not, like, speaking or demonstrating or whatever. The Grand Theft Auto 5, how every mission had something new.
Yeah.
Like, somehow you're driving a fucking submarine.
Yeah.
You're never gonna do that again, but it's crazy they programmed that into, for that one fucking mission.
Yeah.
Right? All of those things, in how the characters approach those scenarios really brought out, like, more about those characters. And I feel like it's the one bummer that I love Lincoln Clay as a character. He's literally like the coolest one since Tommy Vercetti in Vice City to me. But I feel, well, who else?
Nico Bellic is amazing.
Fuck him, man.
But is he better than all?
So,
all right, is
what
Lincoln
you're
Clay
saying,
better than all
what you're
three
saying is
characters
Grand
in-
Theft Auto
he
set the
just-
bar for the mission standards, and
Grand Theft Auto 5 did.
and it didn't quite meet those standards.
Mission variety is super important.
It is.
Well, yeah.
Is he better than all the characters in Grand Theft Auto 5? Yes,
All-
but better than Nico Bellic? I don't.
Yeah, I think so.
That's a crazy
But,
Russian.
Hey, man, our opinion. All right,
Wanna be
once
there.
again, you guys
Russian
ready for
connection,
our
man.
super, super, super fucking high production that we put into this particular episode? Here we go. We're
They've
doing
been
it.
working on this for weeks, from my understanding.
Man, look at that! Oh,
It's not there yet.
we got.
Holy shit!
Yes, let's. Man, we are really killing it tonight,
We need that
boys.
meme.
I mean,
there,
can
know.
you see Dat Boy with a machine gun helping?
Tommy, did you put
Marcus
that boy in
Phoenix?
every fucking...
No.
No?
No, it just worked
so
out
I
that
do
it was
have
the
the
first
time I would
3.
have.
So just by
Honestly.
happenstance, I've been seeing them in every one.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, he just so happened to put it in the first 3 slides.
All right.
I mean, he's just helping kill the locust. Don't get mad at him.
So,
You're about
Gears
to
of War
win the
4.
good
shit,
fight.
you know that?
I started playing Gears of War 4 last Friday night, I believe, or Thursday night, and about a week ago, yeah.
This guy needs some.
What are y'all doing?
I'm already set right here.
Nothing.
Okay.
You
Look at
mind
that.
your business.
He had an empty drink, and I was like, what the fuck, man? Oh,
Are we still on? Are we still live?
Yes, we're still
do you
live.
see? We purposely made this episode shitty. That was your idea.
Oh, why'd you tell him? Why'd you break the
That's
news?
why I'm here.
All right.
They said, you know what? We got to make this episode shitty. Let's invite Val down.
Dr.
Well,
West says,
when
Gears of War 4
Phoenix was their first mistake inviting down.
Gears of War 4 campaign felt too short, in my opinion. Yeah, it did feel a little short. I feel like it was somewhere between 6 and 8 hours. But
Did you beat it already?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, the standard
with me.
FPS,
Nope.
Between 6 and 10 hours, I would say is the average FPS game experience.
Tell that to the people that hated 1886
Shut the
order.
fuck up.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, everybody
shots
loves,
on the street.
used to. Everybody's burnt out
I'm
on
drinking.
COD.
It's the same
But that was
thing.
the standard, I beat that game the
Breaking
night
the
it came
rules.
out, 5 hours, bam, done. And that was on, hard. So no big deal.
Right.
But but that's to be expected from an FPS. You start getting into 20 hours and people start looking at like Alien Isolation.
I was about to say Alien Isolation.
And they
that same
start
thing.
saying, dude, it was about 15 hours too long. Okay, well, you were just bitching about, 5-6 hour game. So they tried to deliver on you and you didn't like it.
Yeah, I mean, like, there is a certain length of time that I think is kind of a sweet spot. And I think 8 to 10 hours is that for a campaign.
Yeah.
Especially for a game that has focused a lot on multiplayer. Apparently multiplayer is good.
Well, I think the big portion is like, it's all in, like, there are certain games that I feel like even, like, 8 to 10 hours would be too long for. Like, a game like Journey would not be as good if it was 8 to 10 hours.
Agreed.
So,
Well, it definitely depends on the game. Yeah.
yeah,
of
it depends
course.
on the game. It's,
Of course, you always hear the greasy wheel most, and so you're going to find that people that are looking for that just campaign experience versus the seller, which is actually the multiplayer experience in most FPSs, even though me personally, I'm not a multiplayer guy on FPSs. I like the campaign personally. But that's what
I
sells.
can't take shots.
So-
You can't drink beer.
Can't really blame them too much.
So,
Shots.
Yeah, it's kind of like alright, Battlefield 1's coming out. I want to play the campaign for that.
Yeah.
Excited. Do I want it to last more than 8 or 10 hours? No.
I think
it could be the best thing ever, and I don't want it to last that fucking
You wanna
long.
bust it
I
out
think
about
that'd be the
4
perfect
shows.
time for
Yeah.
it, though. 8 or 10 hours, I think it'd be a solid time
Yeah.
for a Battlefield 1 campaign.
Exactly.
I wouldn't feel like I got raped by the outrageous game prices.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Well,
I'm totally
it's
joking.
been a very
I'm totally
opening all
jacking
kinds
it.
of boxes.
it's been a really long time since I've like had a game where I was like, I wish if this was a game where it could go on forever, I'd be super stoked.
Yeah.
Like some of the Souls games are like that because they're the only reason why I say this because you only experience it the first time once. Then after that, you know what's coming, and that's kind of So, but like even Grand Theft Auto 5, I poop socked that game in like one sitting.
Yeah.
And
Dang.
oh yeah, I played it for like
How long was
22
this?
hours straight.
Like I said, that's a long game. I
But
feel
by the
like.
time it
kidding.
ended, like I was like, all right, like let's wrap this shit up. Like I'm happy to see how this ends.
It's 8 a.m. I got to get some sleep. It's time to wrap it up.
Honestly, like, I rented Mafia 3, and I was like, I'm going to kill this in 1 or 2 sittings, and it hadn't happened so far.
No.
And I know Grand Theft Auto 5 is longer by at least double that. Like, so my hat's off to you.
Well, thank you.
Poop suck.
Gotta do it, man. It's
I'm
nerf or
lucky-
it's nerf or nothing,
I'm lucky if I can get 3-4 hours of gaming in at any given moment. So you knock that out in a day.
Well,
props.
FedEx your children up here. I'll take care of them for a weekend.
Oh, shit.
Be fine. So yeah, okay. I have no reason to speak on this fucking issue. I have not played Gears.
Yeah.
So Tommy, you have. And I think
have.
out of all of us, are you the only one who has?
I'm
I've
the
been
only one that's
watching him
finished
play.
it. He's played about.
I don't care about spoilers.
Probably about
so I'm
an
like,
hour and a half of it.
Yeah.
And we plan on beating it, because every time I come, every time I've been with you with Gears,
Yeah.
we beat it together. So I'm going to beat it before I go back. But from what I played, like, I've enjoyed it.
Yeah. So, I guess like where to start is it's under a new dev. So similar to when Halo transitioned after the third one, or I guess it depends on how you look. After Bungie stopped with Halo, 434 Studios took over. Same sort of thing with this. After the Epic team left or stopped working on it, and Microsoft owned it, a new studio formed called the Coalition, and they've been working on it. So it's always questionable. It's like a new studio's taking over. How's it going to be? Is it going to have enough of the same stuff that I loved? Is it going to have enough new stuff? And it's the first time it's transitioned from 360 to Xbox One. And I feel like that transition was handled super well. So
I
it
couldn't tell the
feels,
difference, honestly.
yeah, it feels and plays like Gears of War. It has all the staples of a Gears of War game. Even like the character models being like Tonka toys and stuff.
I don't feel like they were as bad this one. Like they weren't as bad. Like love Tonka toys.
Yeah.
But my problem with it, and I've talked about it with you, it's not really a problem. It's a stupid complaint. Is that when Gears of War 1 came out, like that was a phenomenal looking game for the time, and I just don't feel like the graphics add up. But gameplay wise, it's really fun.
You got to understand they're using the same engine that they used for the first one.
Are they really?
Yeah. Your graphics engine's not. I mean, there's a couple versions.
It looks good. Like I'm not complaining,
but it's not a hard release on the engine, so you're not going to have phenomenal graphics from it. But I understand your complaint.
But I mean, for this being a next gen title,
to me personally, if I was a middleware software developer, I would develop my middleware per platform because honestly, that's where the sales are. So I would develop my platform for PS3. And then I would
define middleware.
So middleware is something like CryEngine, Unity, anything like that.
It's all these engines that
so you've got
license out to make their games.
Quick geek alert. Okay, you've got your kernel API right here. You've got your OS, and then you've got your middleware, which connects your game design so that developers can jump in and just create their environments and stuff like that. And it translates through to the OS and AP and kernel memory. Little buzz right now, so if that didn't come clear.
Well, I got it.
Loud and clear over here.
Anyway, they developed them, and it's built on last generation's middleware. We haven't had too many of the major middleware companies come out with new middleware software. So, to
Unreal
expect it
being one of them, correct? Which
Correct.
Isn't this on Unreal?
Yes.
Yep. So
Unreal has not yet. Unity has done a hard launch since then, but Unity is more geared toward.
Over there.
Go on.
What are you talking about?
I was
Lifting testicles?
I was instructing Fetus not to slam his things down the table. Just the mic's there.
Just
Okay. So
the
anyway,
continuous train wreck.
you guys get the idea. You know,
This guy.
you have your middlewares developing per console, but a lot of them haven't even developed yet for the new generation of consoles. So
Hopefully that changes with Prey, which is on the new. As far as I know, that's on the new Unreal, which looks fucking great.
yes, it does.
So yeah, we are kind of fucking up here.
Empty.
Out of five, yeah. Let's hear the one guy who's played. Let's hear his opinion when possible. All right, let's hear it, man.
So, finished the campaign, played it cooperatively. It's got, like I said, it's got the staples of Gears. It feels like Gears, it looks like Gears, it plays like Gears, but there's enough added stuff to where it does feel like what Gears of War should feel like in like a next generation. So the way that they progress the story forward, like it is a new cast of characters. There are a lot of throwbacks and callbacks to previous characters. I don't want to get into any of the spoilers, but you will, if you love the classic characters, like by the time it's over, like there is enough there. There are homages in some form.
A little
of
fan service.
Yes, fan service is a good way to put it. Talking about the visuals, yeah, like they didn't. I don't feel like it was a huge transition like it was with the
Like
first
with
Gears.
part 1.
But with that being said, the things that this generation of consoles has allowed us to do with things like frame rate and things like, which by the way, I hear it runs at like 60 smooth on Xbox One. I mean, on PC. So if you want to play the PC version, it works like Recore did. Access it from your account. The particle effects in this. So the battles that took place in the first 3 Gears games with like the stuff that was in basically the core of the Earth. Since you blew up a lot of that stuff, it's really affected the planet Sarah, like the planet that everything takes place on. So there are all these like superstorms happening at all times. So
I was going to say, I haven't seen that yet because I've only played an hour and a half, but I hear that's like
the superstorms are
really
insane.
awesome.
Like it completely changes the sky, and there's like crazy weather effects, and everything in the entire map is getting thrown around and destroyed. And a lot of times you can use it to help you. So there'll be like a giant group of pipes, and you can like shoot the thing that's holding them, and they'll fly across the map and like crush anything that's in the way. And that's all handled beautifully, like visually. It all looks very, very. There'll be giant lightning storms. There are actual parts where you're having to dodge lightning because there's so much like lightning coming in.
Is the shit Final Fantasy 10?
Give
me the
hashtag.
Transfer it over.
No.
See, he makes it not that easy.
No,
to
he
get him all the
doesn't.
time.
I see your struggle. It's
You gotta
struggle.
Oh, you can.
Oh my god, what just happened to our show?
It's all about giving them ribs.
We can eat some ribs after.
God, I'd
Fucking
love
ribs.
some ribs. I ain't gonna lie, but
What about Arby's?
is Arby's
where
Corp
is
in here
Arby's
right now?
Uh,
If he's not in here, then I'm gonna badmouth it. But if he's in here, then I'll stay true to Arby's Corp promotion. You need to eat some Arby's right now if it's in your power.
So it also has several set piece moments or epic moments, like what you and I would always talk about. Back in the
Don't
Uncharted days.
spoil because
I'm
we're gonna
not.
play.
I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm just saying
yours-
it has several of those moments.
God damn it, Jed.
What did I do?
It has several of those moments that are spread throughout. What are you doing right now?
Taking a swig of Coke.
Stay on focus.
Yeah, what are you
Don't worry
doing?
about what Festus is
Yeah,
doing.
I mean,
Otherwise, we're never gonna make it.
We're never gonna get through. We're never gonna get through
It's
it.
fucked up.
So it has all the epic moments. I think the ending was a bit abrupt. So I wasn't like super stoked on the ending, but you can definitely tell that this is like the start of a new trilogy.
the next step
Yeah.
of gears.
Like they open themselves up for future things. Something else that I really like, there are new enemy types in this. So
The
with new
DBs?
enemy types, they're also don't spoil it, bro.
I
Don't
just
spoil
said
it.
DBs.
What?
This guy's leaning too far back.
There-
Oh, okay.
Also with it comes a
I was
new set
enjoying
of
it.
weapons as well, and I really like all the new weapons. A couple of things that they, we were talking about the importance of AI. The AI with a lot of these new enemy types, and even kind of the classic enemies, but they're a little bit different. They're super aggressive. The enemies are a lot more aggressive than this than they were in previous Gears. Like they will flank you, and they'll like directly run at you out of if you're in cover. So they're a lot more aggressive in this one than they were in previous ones, and I really, really like that about it. So overall, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm definitely going to play through it multiple times.
Actually, watching you play it has made me almost get an Xbox.
Xbox One has never been
You
more
know.
worth it than it is now. Like, there are
2016
so
has
many games.
actually apparently made it worth me going because I've been a PlayStation fan before PlayStation. I was a Nintendo fan.
Yeah.
I was not a Sega fan, so jumping into PlayStation was a big leap for me.
I think
For sure.
I do have a 360. I've got it, a Xbox original.
I'll
But
take responsibility
honestly-
for it. I convinced you to get an N64 over PlayStation.
Yes, you did.
The N64 is awesome.
But he got the N64.
Well, no,
at
no,
PlayStation.
I do not regret my N64 purchase.
No, you should.
by any means.
But back to Gears. Like I said, I've only played an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And if you're a Gears fan, if you've loved all the other iterations of it, this is definitely worth $60.
What
Like,
if you don't like it? Or if you've never
What if
played
I've never played it?
well, I don't know what to tell you because he's introduced me to all. I hate Xbox, and this man right here is like,
everything.
I do, except for Sony. I sold my soul
But it's
long
funny
ago.
when you hate everything.
This guy, I played through every single Gears 1 through 3 with him on Xbox when we lived together. And so I've been excited to come down here and play Part 4 with him. And just a little I played, like, it's exactly what I loved about the last 3. So if you're
And
worried
it's been
about,
long enough as well.
if
which
you're
I think
worried
helps.
about if you should spend $60 on this next Gears, if you love the last 3 iterations, hell yes.
Yeah.
Fucking buy
Now,
it.
one question I have. Like, I don't have much on this. I haven't played it yet.
For sure.
But one question I do have. I watched the Easy Allies. What the fuck are you doing?
You smell like cigarettes.
Yeah, I went and pissed and smoked a cigarette at the same time.
In there?
That's how we run a tight ship
Wait,
here.
that's allowed?
Stay on target. Stay on target.
Um,
Yeah, I'm tempted.
so
I might go.
Well, if you're gonna go have a cigarette, do it outside.
Well, that's
Well,
right.
no,
And the
that's
time
where
it
we're gonna
takes
go.
just to piss if you want to like try to.
No,
Okay,
I
we're
want to
gonna
have
have
like
a
3
cigarette.
puffs outside. I'll
Alright.
be back. We're not ruining Chainsaw Ape, I hope not.
Too late.
Don't get close
Too
to it.
late.
We'll get on the other
So,
sides of it.
Yeah,
the
we
question
can
I
do
was,
that.
I watched the Easy Allies review.
Yeah.
And one thing that and I know this, like when Gears first came out, the whole cover-based shooter.
Mm-hmm.
That was they kind of I don't want to say created that, but it was very much you snap the cover,
Yeah.
you pop up, you pop back down.
A is like your run button, your cover button, go into cover, get out of cover.
So
it was like,
since then, a billion fucking games, right, have done that.
Yeah.
Now, when I watched the Easy Allies review, all of the gameplay was them running and snapping into cover constantly.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I get like that's a staple of the Gears series, but like it's been so long and so many other games have done that you don't feel like that's dated, like it's repetitive.
No,
that's what I was worried about.
No, like, I mean, I guess it's all in the perspective. Like, whenever I'm playing it, I'm not like, oh no, I'm constantly in cover this whole game. Because it is a cover-based shooter. Like, going into cover has always been a part of it. It's just the way that the game works.
Right.
It's like,
what I mean was like when Gears 1 did
context,
it was new. And there's so many games have used that mechanic since.
For sure.
Where it's kind of become hack. Where
think about
it. Yeah, it's just a cover-based shooter. Not all games, because if it's done well enough, it's fucking fine, right?
For sure.
But when I was watching footage that they were using in the Easy Allies review, that's all it seemed like again. And that's the only thing that kind of was like,
So think about something like Halo. A lot of times when you see Halo footage, you're seeing the main character like jumping around a lot. Doing like jumping while they're shooting around. Halo has a lot of platform. And it's the same sort of thing as like, it's something that's just kind of ingrained. It's a part of the way that the games play. So, does it feel repetitive? No. I mean, it's just like it would be in any other type of game where it is just a particular type of mechanic.
Well, that was my one kind of
It's nothing that I personally was like connected or disconnected to, but it did feel it felt like putting on a nice cozy pair of your favorite socks, just putting them back on, super comfortable. To get back into it. It's easy to transition back into it. Active reloads and stuff work the same as they did.
What was the Garth said in Wayne's World? It's like a new pair of underwear. At first it's constrictive, but after a while it becomes a part of you. Would you describe it that way?
No.
Oh, no?
I wouldn't describe it like that.
Okay. Well, I would.
Yeah.
Alright, so I think we're done here.
Yep.
Let's see.
Yeah, we missed a lot of comments. Apologies, guys.
We're not gonna be able to read through all of them. We'll pick out some key ones that we might be able to elaborate on. In particular, a 6-hour campaign is like sex. No matter how good it is, you want to pork for 6 fucking hours. Which I agree with. Let's see. Well, unless you're fucking Kate Upton, Rihanna, Evil and Corey, Kylie, Caitlyn Jenner. Let's see. As an avid Halo fan, I judge the highest impish. I'd like to hear. Okay, yeah, we got that one. Hope I didn't miss any ribs getting gotten. Nope. Stay on target. Yeah, Idafy was saying since I've been playing the game solo, and this is a part that we've talked about a lot as far as remember how I was always saying that I thought Resident Evil 5 was tremendous?
Yeah.
It's not a good Resident Evil game. It doesn't have the spirit of Resident Evil, but as a game, it's fucking great.
Yeah.
You know why I said that, apparently. It's because I always played it cooperatively. I never played it single.
Yeah.
Because Sheva, or you have to play as Chris, I guess, if you're doing single. Sheva as an AI partner is completely idiotic. It ruins the game experience. Now, when he's saying here, like, since I've been playing the game solo, the AI is great.
Yeah.
Which, luckily, I guess it does that.
That's actually something else I want to bring up. It's a good call out, Idify. So, even though the game is cooperatively only 2 players, there are always 4 people running together. Like, 2
so
humans.
Each person has an AI partner.
Basically.
Okay.
And the AI is insanely good at picking you up when you need to be revived. Like, they are so good at it.
Really?
They, like, if you and I are playing, there's a better chance that the moment you go down and you're like, hey man, come grab me, the AI will beat me to revive me.
Sure
and that's pretty awesome. Because you're like, what the fuck are you AI guys doing? They're good at, like, helping you take out the hordes and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's cool.
So, but once again, that goes back to Mafia 3. AI, as long as it doesn't fuck up what you're trying to do, it can be as stupid as it wants. But if it sacrifices everything to come save you, fine. Keep going. Let's see. Serial killer bumped the camera. Yeah, we got the camera fixed. Little Tortilla Boy says, if you ran a blacklight over my Gears 4 disc, you'd see how much I love you. Again? Yeah, man. Come on in. TV Book says, I played Batman on PSVR today. It was cool as a novelty. I think the fad will pass. Well, speaking of, let's do this, fellas.
Yep. Let's do it.
Man, that production, it's so exquisite.
I get the idea that if it's a car crash, like, happening with this, it's going to immediately have people thinking, these guys don't like PSVR.
Well, no, look, here's the thing.
Which is not true, by the way.
None of this actually happened, but in a hypothetical world where we were like, we need to make this as shitty as possible, find bad transitions, and I don't know what sound effects, but they gotta be bad. I just put ones in here that I just thought of. Kind of a coincidental car crash sound.
Yeah.
On my part. But that didn't happen. This is all pre-planned and it's great. But in a hypothetical world, that's what could have happened. Alex Jones might think that happened.
Yeah, I've had a little bit of
Russian
experience
Bob.
with the
Yeah, Bob.
Batman VR, and I only did it in a demo at GameStop, and honestly, I just felt like I was more Detective Batman. Who's saying shit?
Look at that.
Bottom left
That's what
corner.
Kurt was saying. That bottom left corner, baby. I had to pull up the preview window to look at it. All right, sorry, go on.
I forgot what I was saying.
You're talking about Batman VR.
Oh yeah. No, I felt like more Batman Detective than I did, Batman the superhero. No combat was involved. I was sitting there just picking up shit and just like, oh, cool. I mean, it was a cool experience for a first time
So
I've
what
ever
was it?
done VR.
Ironically, that was the one game I came over to Tommy's house today, and he got the PSVR last night. That was like the one game we didn't play.
No, that's the one. There's like 4 or 5 I haven't played. That's one of mine.
The one that's like
To be honest,
undoubtedly probably worth the shit. So
that's
Val,
one.
can you? Sorry, go on.
That's one of the games that I want to like play all the way through in one sitting. It's like an hour and
Well,
a
I
half.
mean, is it a full game though?
It's an hour and a half.
Oh, it is. Okay.
It's one of those that I want to play completely through. So it's kind of a time and place kind of game for me.
So Val, what was the actual Batman? Is it just like you in the fucking Batcave? Is it you like running around in vents?
honestly, that was
Is
the
it-
coolest part. Was just being in the Batcave, looking at all the different stuff. Standing in the, it's not really a mirror, but you see your reflection, and you're sitting there just dancing around. Okay, like I said, I played it at a GameStop, so I couldn't get fully into it. I felt at least.
Well, yeah, because everyone's sitting there watching you.
Exactly.
It's kind of like when you're
And-
when you're a kid and you're at Walmart.
I was in
and
theater,
you're
so
playing
it
the
doesn't
game,
really matter.
Yeah.
But it's like
and there's
you
always that
expect.
kid behind you watching for like waiting for you to get the fuck out.
So there's
you
a
can
sense
try.
of pressure, exactly.
Yeah.
But honestly, throwing around the Batarang, okay, flick, cool. But it's almost impossible to miss. So, really, what was that game that just came out on VR? It was they stick you in a room and you just do detective work. It felt
Batman?
almost like that.
I
No, there's one that came
far as
out
I
on
know.
HTC Vibe. But I
So one thing
wasn't
think it was
that impressed. I thought it was a cool experience for my first time being on a VR simulation
Well,
since
we're
I
gonna
think
put you on the
98.
Vive after we end the stream here tonight.
Okay.
So you've had the best. Now see what's left. That's not true. Anyways, so but here's the thing. Greg from
Kind of funny.
said that was the best VR game that he tried. That it
Yeah.
made you feel like Batman. Would you say that that's true?
No,
All right.
because when I think of Batman, I think of
Combat, right?
silently kicking ass, and nobody even knows it's occurred.
And see, that's
Yeah,
what
this-
I hear about his biggest problem.
Well, you didn't
it's
play
just
any
that
Arkham
the
games, did
detective
you?
shit is really
Yeah,
cool.
it's just detective
The
work.
Batmobile
Really.
tank.
And I think that's a big part of it. Like going in, I know that the whole idea is like you're in Wayne Manor. You like open the secret door to go into the Batcave. You like look around the Batcave. You put the cowl on. You like go in front of a mirror. Like it's all
And
like
you dance
it's
around, you-
experiencing.
And it's
being
not
Batman.
glitching like
Then
Mafia
you-
3.
And you
I can't
go into like
every
an
single
alleyway.
game
And
that
you
It,
have
it
to
was
solve
smooth,
a-
actually. I do have to
There
agree.
you
You have
know.
to solve a murder. So it's like it's similar to the
A
Arkham games where you have
murder.
to like go into the different scenes.
Yeah.
The crime scenes and explore and figure out what's going on. It's like that. So it's more of like the detective side of Batman and not the superhero or kicking ass.
Right, which I think is severely lacking in a lot of Batman interactive things we have. Now, that being said, I haven't played Telltale, which I think you can do a lot better.
No,
So-
don't.
So that's kind of an experience, Bella. You and Festus spent a lot of time with it today.
So
We
what I
spot
want to do
by-
is
So as
3 or
far as
4
like
hours
as far
with
as
it.
like the more like actual hardware, how
Well,
it
yeah, that's what-
operates, let's hear that.
So we've got 2 slides here. The first slide is just going to be impressions on PSVR in general. Maybe not go into a lot of detail about the games, but the following slide, we're going to talk about all the games that we have played collectively.
All right.
So that way, you know, there are some games that each of you guys have played that I haven't, and vice versa. So we're just going to give impressions from those perspectives. So let's start with talking about the actual hardware. Where I want to start is I think one of the biggest challenges is going into it having played a lot of the Vive. Because the Vive, it costs twice as much. It requires a significantly more beefy machine than what the PS4
it's
can
very
offer.
Yeah,
eventually.
see, I've never experienced
a lot
that.
higher, yeah.
So the
Yet.
Vive is like
We got
it's like
Porno,
driving
too.
it's like driving
We're doing
I don't
that.
know, a Lamborghini, and then you get a PSVR which is like driving a Ford Mustang. Like, it's cool, it's great, it feels great, but it's not a Lamborghini. That's like the big thing. Going into it, if you know what you're getting yourself into, or if you have never played anything in VR, like, it's going to feel amazing. The VR is cool. The sense of space, all the stuff that we've talked about in the past with Vive, you get a lot of those feelings and sensations, and being in that area, there's not quite anything like it. It has the 3D effect where you feel like you're in a...
I was about to say, the last time I played a VR game was in the late 90s, early 2000s at a movie theater, Tinseltown.
I almost thought you were saying Virtual Boy.
And, you know, really blocky graphics. And at the time, they didn't even have the walking platforms, but you were still in this platform and you just lean in to move. But it was better than that, I'll give it that. But that was my last experience on it.
So yeah, well, I'm excited to show you bullshit later. Now, Festus, actually, you know, before we move on, let's do a couple comments, because there are a couple questions about
I still have
PSVR.
quite a bit to talk about.
But I have a couple questions based on this. Batman was asking you about the Thumper. What is that?
Yes, I bought it. We're going to talk about it on the next slide.
Okay,
I thought it
gotcha.
was good.
Is that an accessory or a game?
It's a game.
It's a
We'll
game.
talk about it on the next slide.
All right, what's up, Texas Boy? And Texas Boy says, I see DK Peel at Major Tom in the house with those
Oh,
shorts.
yeah, you did.
This is blowing my mind.
Man, I tried switching pants with you before this started.
Whoa!
I'm just saying.
Whoa!
I tried helping you out.
I wear shorts.
Would that have even worked?
I wear shorts like this 95%.
The pants I have
Yes,
under this.
You're one of the
Just
smallest
But
people
I'm
I
saying
know.
the pants I have under this would have worked for him, and it would have covered up his knees.
Why
And
are
that's
you
why
making-
I'm
Put a
just saying
blanket
people
on.
are hating on you right now.
No, they're
Put a
not
blanket
hating.
on.
They
No,
love
they're
these
hating.
legs. Y'all see these legs?
I don't know. Are y'all hating or are y'all loving? Because
Well, Kurtz is saying, well, let me scroll up actually. Kurtz said, leave. Oh, no. There was someone else who wanted to oil up Major Tom's thighs with his feet. Little tortilla boy. Kurtz is undecided at this point as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, but that being said, also, what's with the fetal alcohol syndrome you get when you're playing?
Fecal alcohol.
Yeah,
the shaking.
Is that the
Yeah,
beer
so-
shits?
I know.
Okay, you guys give me like 5 minutes. I'm gonna just
Okay.
run through.
all right,
I'm gonna
I'm
run
not
through
going
it.
to say anything.
I'm
for
seriously going
5
to refer to
Mm.
beer shits as fecal
5
alcohol
minutes.
poisoning from here
There
on out.
there are two things that comparatively to the Vive are just not good. It just doesn't compare. There are 2 to 3 things. Oh my fucking god!
Sorry, I got a request.
What?
You don't have to. This motherfucker's just pulling on my hair on my legs right now.
I keep
Oh,
getting requests.
Well, deny the requests.
Okay.
There's no
So,
denying
when you
the
hear me say
public.
deny,
Well, don't,
There's no-
don't apologize. But
No,
yeah,
that's
go on.
against policy.
And then there are 3 things, 2 to 3 things that I like better than the Vive. So let's talk about the things I don't like as much, and then we'll talk about the things I like more.
Alright.
So, visually, it does not compare. You know, it's talking about the hardware itself, and it's not running on a strong machine. The PS4 is not as strong as what is required out of a PC to be able to run a Vive or a Rift. So it's very clear. It's specifically when it comes to resolution, it just does not compare. All the games have a certain blur or a TV screen effect that just kind of, it doesn't immerse you in the experience quite like the Vive.
One thing I noticed was when the screen goes black,
Yeah.
it's really not like a true
The blacks,
black
yes, it's
of
not
any
a,
sort.
yeah. It's also one
Um,
screen as opposed to one over each eye. And that's like, I'm not going to say it's noticeable. You can't tell. If you didn't know it was like that, you would never know.
You know, the
But-
Virtual Boy had a different lens for each eye.
Man, where's Sony at? I need to take a page out of
Virtual
Nintendo's
Boy.
book. And then the other thing is, one of the things that makes Vive so amazing over any other virtual reality is the room scale, or the room, is that what it's called? Is room scale?
Yeah.
So what it is there are 2 devices that attach to different corners of your room, like on your walls.
This is Vive, right? Not the
This is the
PSVR.
Vive. Yeah. And
So
yeah,
what-
in
what-
this
yeah,
particular
yeah, I
room,
saw
there's
it.
one in that corner and there's one in this corner. And when you first set it up, you actually go around with the controller and you trace out the space.
Your
that
play
you're going
area,
to.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it allows you to walk around in that 3D space free.
And keep
And it
you from
picks up-
punching a TV screen while you're at it.
And it picks up the controller, so it doesn't matter where your back is facing or your front is facing or anything like that. Like, it tracks very, very well. There were a couple of instances where we had a couple of issues with Vive, but that was stuff that was on our end
It's-
that we did 10 minutes of troubleshooting.
You know, even
and
then,
resolved.
it's first gen,
Yeah.
first
Yeah,
release.
no, it's to be
Absolutely.
expected.
So.
With the PlayStation VR, it tracks from the PS camera the one that came out the same day as the PS4. So it is an old technology that's the camera's working on. And then even more so, the controllers, the actual like motion controllers that you use, are PlayStation Move controllers that came out on the PlayStation 3. So it's using dated technology to be able to like identify where your hands are, and you can tell. When you were talking about fetal alcohol syndrome, where you have shaky hands, like when you hold your hands up in PSVR, they shake. Not in everything, but in a lot of things, it's super noticeable, and it's jarring. Like Job Simulator, for example.
How are you supposed to feel cool when you're pointing a gun and going?
Yeah, it's like shaking. It just doesn't. It just doesn't.
It's like your modern day.
You gotta pretend you're a crack.
You better walk away.
Crack. So that's why you're shaking.
So,
well,
as an example,
the Batman game. Unfortunately, you don't play as the crack addict robbing the Waynes.
I didn't know that
Otherwise,
too much
it would work
while I was
out
playing,
really
but of course,
well.
I was in a very controlled environment. They had the backdrop up and stuff like that. So
yeah.
So
well, just wait, baby.
What was I going to say before I completely lost it?
We got you.
Well, no, but let's say this, the comfortability of it. You mentioned that.
I guess we'll skip.
And I'd mention that as well.
Oh, okay. I remember what I was going to say. Job Simulator. Job Simulator on Vive. If you drop like an item you're holding, like let's say an apple, you can reach down on the floor and pick it up. But the way that the PlayStation camera reads is that you won't be able to pick it up off the floor because the camera can't see the motion controller on the floor. So it will just respawn the item. If anything touches the floor, it just respawns it back to where it was. So that level of immersion is just not as strong with PSVR as comparatively as the Vive. But let's talk about what I liked more about it. Way more comfortable. Like the way that it fits on your head, it's just like the Vive and the Rift are both like the weight is all in the front. So it kind of pulls, and it's straps that you use to strap it in. So depending on if those straps are tight enough, it kind of feels like it's like crushing your face. Comparatively to PSVR. Again, it's all doable. This is not a complaint against the Vive. I'm not here to shit talk the Vive or PSVR. But I'm just saying, like, the weight is on your face. It just doesn't feel as comfortable. This, as you can see in this picture here, it's basically like a headband that you wear, and then the PSVR attaches to it, and there's a button you press on the side that slides it into your eyes. So it feels a lot more comfortable to wear, and it just like, I don't know, even though it is heavier, like factually speaking, it is heavier. I don't have the exact weights of them, but it doesn't feel as heavy because of the way it's designed.
One thing I felt like it weighed on the bridge of my nose a lot.
That may have been how you had it positioned. So.
Right.
I was about to say, because when I played it, like I played the Vive and I played PSVR. PSVR, like you said, it weighed more, but how it's designed, like the weight distribution was way different. Like the PSVR definitely felt lighter. No questions asked.
I'll give it that. I will say, probably with the Vive, since we've owned it, or since I've owned it, like, it hasn't been set up to, like, maximum comfortable for one person.
For sure.
It's been passed around like a hooer.
Yeah.
So, even if we were to pull it out right now, like, unless we spend a decent little bit of time fucking around with it, it probably would not be as comfortable as you could get it.
Yeah.
Because
I would agree
90%
with
of the times when we use it right now, it's so someone else can use it, you know? So it's constantly changing settings.
VR is definitely something, even though it's such a personal experience, it's definitely something that you do in a social setting.
Oh, yeah.
You want to share it with everybody, for sure.
That's been, like, my favorite part of the Vive, and I've seeing other people use it.
And the Vive was great when I used it, but it was just definitely like you'd tell a difference of weight distribution.
The other
because
piece,
to me, that's what the Kinect was, just a social gathering vibe. Yeah. And so, you really, except for, I think, in Mass Effect 3, I really saw no point for the Kinect. But that's personal opinion, so.
So the other thing that I really, really like about it so far is that, similar to Steam, when you go to Vive and you're buying games off Steam, you can get games that are in early access. You can get games that you may not be 100% sure on, since it's an open source platform and any dev can make games for it. So you're going to come across some gems, but you're going to come across some stuff that just like may feel incomplete.
Tech demos, basically.
Yeah, tech demos. Even the tech demos on PSVR feel like complete experiences. A lot of them are shorter and smaller. Like I feel like short games is going to be a staple for VR. Just from the sake of, like, after we played for like an hour and a half each, we were both like, I gotta stop.
Yeah.
Just because it's like being in this
completely
world for as
agreeable.
long as we were in this.
Where it's like the short term experiences are fucking great.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you had experienced a short term experience for like 45 an hour, like you'd probably feel shitty.
They feel more complete in the way that they're designed.
Oh, for sure.
And even something like even the small like tech experiences, there's a certain level of like polish to the actual game that makes it feel like you're actually playing a game. So I really like that. And it's not to say that like a complete experience on Vive compared to a complete experience on PSVR, that they're not comparable, but there are more consistent complete experiences.
I mean, truthfully, I don't know of a, and there might be, I haven't checked in a little while, I don't know of a single good, like, almost AAA feeling full experience on Vive yet. Now, that's in the works, I'm sure, by
there
quite a few people.
There are a few.
But I will say, like, despite any pitfalls of PSVR, the fact that in January the full Resident Evil 7 comes out, that you can play with it, that's means a fucking lot, you know. That's not just a complete experience; it's a complete experience that even without the Vive, you'd wish to play.
Yeah.
But you can enhance that with it.
Hang on, I gotta see if
Want to be there?
P has any Miracle Whip.
Bro, don't you fucking touch me with Miracle Whip.
The other thing is, you're saying, like, for some reason, I mean, I played the Until Dawn VR experience.
You didn't play that.
I got really fucking motion sick playing it, and I don't know if maybe it didn't have been adjusted right or what it was, but like, there's only been one other time in my experiences with VR that I got motion sick, and it was adapting Dark Souls 3 first person VR, which you're not intended to do. Yeah. So rolling the camera would fucking flip around, and it fucked me up pretty bad. Somehow this made me feel like pretty nauseous, even when I was watching just you on the TV play.
Yeah,
like certain games, like I was feeling like nauseous. I'm not sure what the cause of that was.
I definitely got a similar feeling, but it depended on the experience and it depended on again, like I was in there for a very long time. So similar to whenever I played that like grapple game on Vive,
Windlands, yes.
Windlands, yeah. That feeling that I've gotten that a couple of times in PSV. But it depended on the experience for me. I haven't played Until Dawn, but we'll actually get to that here in a second. Overall, I think if you've never played VR, this is an amazing place to jump in. It's probably going to perform incredibly well. Guarantee you every one of them sold out, and they've probably sold more in the last 24 hours than Vive and Oculus have each, like, respectively. Just because...
Depending on their stock, yeah. Like, their actual stock.
Well, they
units.
They actually have a decent launch line versus the others. So
there's a good 20-25 games that were available to play starting today.
And versus Steam versus a console release, Steam, let's get rid of everything that comes out on console as well. And I'm gonna get a lot of shit for saying this, but Steam is typically nothing but mostly alpha prepay.
No, we talked about this recently. Yeah, you're correct.
So
a lot of early access that never not stops being early access.
Correct. Yeah. So your PlayStation at least holds them up to that standard of, look, we want a bunch of release games that are going to at least hold up to it.
You hear the trophy pop. You hit the PlayStation home button, and it takes you to the PlayStation menu. Like, it is a console experience, virtual reality.
It's a very consistent environment.
And as someone who prefers console gaming, like, that is nice. It is nice to interact with it at that level.
Yeah.
So, Major Tom, at this point, my question would be, before we move on to the individual experiences, because I guess this is about the hardware itself, is it worth the price? Is it worth the ticket?
If you have virtual reality, so if you have a Vive or a Rift, I would say no. If you don't have one and you're interested in jumping in, play a friend, something like that. See if you like it, and then pick one up. But I would not say, like, I have a Vive, now I want this as well. I like, if I were you, I wouldn't get one. Okay. Like, if you want to play it, you can play it at my place or anybody else who ends up getting one. But if you do not have a virtual reality option, then I would say this is the perfect. The price is right. It feels good. Even the visual, like, resolution issues and controller stuff, that stuff's all bad comparatively for me. It's all not as good as. But as someone, if I've never played Vive before, that it is absolutely incredible, and it's not going to be as jarring.
Well, it's definitely give and take. The fact is,
sure.
Vive's hardware is better.
Yeah.
But the reason why you probably don't see as many full experiences is because, you have to judge for not only room space, but different types of hardware that you're going to be using with brand new fucking virtual reality.
Yeah.
It's a very new medium.
When you can control most of the environment on how you're going to develop it, that's the thing. Like, do you want a more complete game experience, or do you want like better visuals, resolution, etc.? That's kind of
that's kind of the big thing. Is like the best that you can get visually is going to be on Vive for a very long time.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
The best that you can get from the perspective of a game, and a lot of people, man, the stuff that I know. I have a guy that I work with. He refuses to play PSVR, period. But he doesn't own a console. He's not a console guy. We had an opportunity to get to check out something at work. And he was like, nah, it's not a Vive. Like, he has a Vive.
Well, you got to remember that, like, the Panasonic 3DO, okay, one of the first major consoles to experience the first-person shooter in consoles.
Yeah.
Didn't really perfect it. It was still awkward and stuff like that. It took the N64 to come out and the PlayStation to come out to really solidify the new environment that everybody was working with. So this is the first generation we're still working with.
That's a very important thing to note.
You know,
this is ground,
and that's why I go into. I'm very impressed with what I've seen so far.
Well, that's what we've been saying from the beginning. Like, what's really great about it is this is as shitty as it's ever going to be.
Yeah.
It's only going
and it's still pretty fucking good.
Yeah, it's badass.
And I do think that they probably planned PSVR before they launched PS4, but I don't think that they knew exactly what it was going to be.
Right.
They've always got stuff in R&D. And my guess is the next console is going to have depending on how well this does, is going to have focus. And I don't mean this will be the only way that you can play, because I think console games the way they stand now, I don't think that's ever going. Someone mentioned earlier, and I can't recall who it is.
Go back to the comments.
I could
said that it felt like a fad, but I don't think it is. I think there's enough here. It was up there quite a bit.
I got to answer one thing, Mr. Kurtzan. DKP has no Merrick Whip or mayonnaise. I'm so sorry. Keep going.
I do agree how people can perceive it as a fad, but I honestly from a guy that's known that Vive or the PSVR, this shit's a feature. I've tried them both, and it's
I don't
ridiculous.
think it's going to replace anything, but I also don't think it's moved.
Well,
I don't think it's going to go anywhere.
We still get 2D platformers.
Yeah.
And I feel like we'll get all that, but as from what I've seen from Vive and PSVR, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah. PS2 and Xbox original. I hate having to say that, because it should be Xbox One. But, they figured out the rhythm of 3D environments. So everything since then has just kind of been, okay, we now know what actually works.
It's evolutionary, not revolutionary.
Correct.
Now we're back to revolutionary.
PS3, Xbox 360, they had it nailed. So next generation, we're going to get it.
All right, let's talk about some games.
All right, more super high production.
It's in the fridge.
A little bit of trivia. Does anyone know where that's from?
Goddamn cunt.
We're not talking
Rich.
about Betty White, are we?
Well, it's funny. I put that sound effect in there before you knew what
What's
it was.
funny is I
and then
know
you
what
put Betty White in there.
I've heard it before, but I cannot place it.
That's actually Jeff Goldblum from the
Jeff
movie
Goldblum?
from Death Wish. He plays a thug and he's robbing. And he's goddamn rich cunt. And it's incredible to see Jeff Goldblum doing that.
Chef Goldblum.
Yeah, that's who it is, man.
Let's be proper.
He's a bit underrated.
A little bit of trivia there for you.
He's great.
But there's one thing we don't apologize here on Chainsaw.
He is.
There you have it.
Who wants to start? Festus, why don't you open us up?
I don't want to open up unless it's about Eve Valkyrie.
That's what I'm saying. We're going to talk about all of these games for a couple minutes. We're going to keep it short.
Well, then I'll open up.
Open us up. Talk
So,
about Eve Valkyrie. You're the only one of us that have played Eve Valkyrie.
All right, so I came down here because the total intention was for me to come down here when VR came out.
Yeah.
For PSVR.
Yeah.
And so I played, let's see.
You played a lot of them. Let's just talk
a
about
lot of the games that are on that screen right now. But I played Eve Valkyrie. And phenomenal. Could not, loved it. Some people might get motion sickness. I'm not one of those pansies that get motion sickness from this VR. I'm not gonna lie. So I played Eve Valkyrie. It's absolutely amazing. I came down here expecting to play Battlefront because I didn't know that wasn't out for VR yet. The Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah.
And so Space Battles is like what I was hoping for. I came down. But then he said Eve Valkyrie is out. So I tried Eve Valkyrie. Phenomenal, man. Like, I don't know. Completely immersed.
Why is it phenomenal?
Because I was completely immersed in that space battle. For sure. Completely immersed. It was wacky, like, you know.
What do you mean wacky?
Hard to follow. Like, I guess if you had someone that doesn't like VR motion too much, they wouldn't like it. But I completely was cool with it.
So one of the things you
someone
asked...
who doesn't like VR and motion too much.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't like motion personally.
They might not get it.
You know?
But Eve Valkyrie to me was awesome. That was the best motion game I played out of the Vive and the PSVR.
So what made it so awesome other than the sense of space? Like, how did it control... Give me something.
The control was alright.
Give them something more.
If you like space battling and like you're in a ship, fucking other shit up, you're gonna love Eve Valkyrie.
You know, Idify mentioned it. I love his redneck explanations.
Yeah.
And
This is totally a redneck explanation.
It's
love
awesome,
I
man.
I was about to say, Idify,
if you're
you
in-
deserve to be in Texas.
If you're in space and you love fucking shit up, it's awesome,
that's a
man.
Texas
That's a
explanation.
Texas explanation.
But
it really is.
I mean, in my defense,
We should have you write
I didn't
chains over
die my
Hughes
first
moving
time
forward
playing.
someday.
I just fucked shit up.
So you played online, right?
Yeah, I did. I played online.
How did
got
you perform?
second place. I mean, you can protest to that.
So I can protest to that, yes. So one of the things that we were watching a demo for it, where we were watching a trailer for it before you played it, and you were like, "It looks like it's on rails. It looks like you don't get to."
And you're not. That's my favorite thing that I played about VR so far is Eve Valkyrie, because you're not on rails. It's like you're controlling everything that's happened.
Yeah.
And everything that's going on, like where your ship's going, what missiles you shoot, how your machine gun fires. Whereas much VR I played is like you're kind of like on a track thing where you're just kind of following it. Whereas Eve Valkyrie, man, you're in complete control of what the fuck's going on. And when I was telling Tommy it's worth the $60.
Yeah.
You paid $60 for that game?
Yep.
Well,
Shit.
you
Pay
can
$60 for two
pick
games.
different.
Well, hold on. Like, is it its own standalone game, or
Yeah.
is it a VR exclusive?
It's
but it has
well,
VR.
it's like
capability.
VR
exclusive.
versus, isn't it? Like you're playing other people online.
It's an online multiplayer shooter.
And I didn't get this far, but you can pick different ships of what you're playing as.
Oh, okay.
I have to
But
chime in real quick.
your thing.
Idify, what mistake are you referring to? Okay, keep going. I'm just curious. I'm going to keep watching the screen.
As far as the one intermission guy made, I'm not sure about that either.
Yeah.
Also, Idify said you pick up a lot of lizards. I think we probably all know what that is. For anyone who doesn't, those are truck stop hooers. My dad used to be a trucker for a little bit.
I won't
Pepper
go
says-
into that, but I can't disagree with that.
Pepip says, so is Eve Valkyrie like that ride the platform and shoot game on the Vive?
No, I
no,
mean I don't
this
know
is
what
like
that is,
full-
but
full
like
ship control.
there is no rail shooting. Like you're in complete control of what the fuck your ship is
Nice.
doing, and I thought that was really badass.
I feel like a good transition would be Zone of the Enders.
it would the colors and stuff were really like
Well,
Tony
no-
where everything was really
Okay,
bright
see, I have no
and
idea. I have
shiny.
no idea about
But-
Valkyrie, but it seems like Zone of the Enders would be a fantastic transition to VR. It just feels like it would flow right into
Too
it.
bad Kojima's a nut job.
Yeah, no.
But anyways, like what I played is I
He's
was
Festus
completely
status.
playing online against other people, and it was awesome, whooping the shit out of them. Like I didn't die once. I was just shooting missiles and shooting machine guns at other
So
planes.
you played like 5 or 6 different games. You told me this is your favorite.
Eve's definitely my favorite out of all I played. I played what's called Tumblr, which is good.
Well,
Thumper, which was awesome.
Tumblr-
Hold
the
on,
game?
Hold on. We're going to talk about
Damn.
each of those games individually.
I'm not.
All
I'm
those
just
games are up
saying
there.
compared to what I played on Eve.
All you just have to say is this the best, and we'll get to the
Eve
others.
was my favorite for sure, and I've never played Eve like the online game. Never
Yeah.
played it. Just like this first person, you're in the cockpit, fucking other ships up. I was all about it.
So
the FOTS has a comment of the night, a test.
Yeah, he said protest earlier.
I know.
I go, yeah,
I know.
protest.
You could feel the disappointment coming off that one. It's
Yeah.
dripping.
Yeah.
By the way, listening to Mr. Kurtzan, to elaborate just a little bit on that, and I actually had the same thought a little bit. Mr. Kurtzan said one time to old intermission guy, "Yeah, you should just bang the fucking table as hard as you can," and he just whop with the fucking mic or some shit like that. And it was like, and I didn't see the comments. We did it like just I don't know. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" That was like one of the few times like, I made a huge mistake.
What, did I set anything on there?
No, you weren't looking for fucking mayonnaise, though. That's what he's talking about.
Oh, gotcha.
But
Don't listen to the comments. Gotcha. Okay, got.
Don't go chasing
I got
mayonnaise
you
waterfalls, okay?
All right, we're here right now.
I'll hit one and then I'll pass it over to you, JP. I played Drive Club, so Drive Club VR. That was one that I really liked. Drive Club. It's a simulation racing game. So I was really hoping Drive Club VR would work. I think it's weird playing a controller, but when you're in VR, seeing it seeing the steering wheel and stuff, I was like, man, I might need to buy a steering wheel. So played Drive Club VR. Totally great. It controls better in VR than I thought it would. Like, I was really concerned about being hard to control because simulation racing games, generally speaking, are hard to control, hard to get around turns. You have to practice.
I was about to say, so is it an improvement on the turning radius? Like, the first time you play any racing game, first thing you got to do is get a feel for how the turn goes.
Yeah.
You know, you spend 2 or 3 times wrecking into a wall, and then you're like, okay, I got it.
Yep.
So did this feel actually natural to you?
It was still with a controller, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think anytime you use a controller, it's going to take the natural.
So what about
feeling
depth perception and timing?
The depth perception, the feeling of being in a car. Like, I felt like it was in a car.
Okay.
And it looked very cool.
That's what I'm hoping for.
You can look around and see the interior of the car as you're driving around. Like you can in a lot of racing games. But there was one point where I was in an Indy car where you're basically don't have a top over you at all. You guys cars. And then I transitioned to like a hatchback. But as soon as I transitioned in, I felt like I was in a car, especially after going from an Indy car to where you can look around you and you're kind of out in the open air. And then transitioning into that, you're like, okay, this feels like being in a car.
Too late now.
Yeah, fuck it.
PSA Festus, let me pour your shots in there, buddy. Is that all right?
The shot was fine. It was the chaser that.
Well, no, chasers. Allow me, my friend.
If that's what you want to, I'll allow you.
Go on.
You don't see no
equipment here, you know?
So it played a lot better than I thought it would. I only got to play probably like 4 races. Got to play, but I only played about 4 races. And yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Well, like what Texas Fodera says, it's one thing that you mentioned. You're like, this makes me want to buy a fucking steering wheel.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was looking at them online yesterday, and I was like, if I like this, I might want to get a steering wheel. And I'm definitely thinking about it.
Out of fire, did any of you guys try the Star Wars VR Death Star battle?
That's what I was here for, but it didn't exist yet. I'm playing.
Whoa.
You know I'm kidding.
Texas Fodera, I told you enough times. The moment
it's not out yet.
Over,
That's what we can say, though, right? It's
not out yet.
It's not out to the public. But if you had played the latest demo, it's completely worth the $59.99.
What are you talking about?
The Death Star shit. Because I've been buying.
That's $60 fucking dollars.
Well, I didn't buy the season pass. I bought in the games every now. But after I saw the Death Star demo, I was like, I need that 2 weeks early, so I bought the $50 pass. If you're a Star Wars fan, get on it. If you're not, I don't know what to say to you.
This does not work at EA, by the way. So
I don't. So my opinions do not affect EA.
Okay, no, I forgot that wasn't EA program. I thought you were.
I'm trying to promote EA here.
No. I thought you were just being like,
people don't know
what you're saying. I just think I should make it clear.
He has absolutely no affiliation whatsoever.
I forgot entirely that EA owns the rights to Star Wars games.
I did too, actually.
Star Wars Battlefront is.
That would have been way funnier.
But it's worth paying the $60 if you hadn't bought the season pass yet.
What? Exclamation point ribs?
Bro!
I'm trying to, but...
Stay out of the ribs.
We're getting
stay out of the ribs.
doing it.
We had an agreement that it would be a kind of a chain
We're
effect.
an hour and a half in. We got to keep this moving.
Are we an hour and a half in?
Yeah.
Okay,
let's get through this, and we might just call it after that.
What? Come on.
The next one, I do think is
we have 2 more topics after this slide.
Yeah, we might just do one stuff.
And they're peon topics. We'll get through them fast.
Crash course them.
No, they're the big conversations, the one that require lots of conversation.
These guys.
Let's table those. All right. We'll do one stuff after this one. Because we got to get through all these fucking games, too.
Yeah.
Can't do guests on it.
You want to talk about Until Dawn?
What the fuck did you say, Val?
You're the only one that played Until Dawn.
Can't do guest on Prep Ape? Of course you can.
Can't do breast on Prep Ape. Yeah.
Hold off Bonto?
Yeah, Until Dawn. The first thing that comes to mind while playing this game is what the fuck does this have to do with Until Dawn? That's my biggest thing I was asking the whole time.
Pig level.
Could you? That would be like if I made a Myst game, right? That was a fucking like Gears of War, and had nothing to do with Myst. But I called it Myst Revelation. That's what I call it.
It's only explanation.
Yeah.
Explanation.
Because for anyone who doesn't know what Until Dawn was, it is a, I guess if you want to call it a David Cage-esque experience. To elaborate on that.
Yeah. I was about to
So,
say,
to elaborate on that,
good
he's
explanation
the guy.
for
He's the
people
guy
who
who
don't
made
know.
Heavy Rain.
I love that.
You know,
game.
It's kind of like a point-and-click adventure.
Indigo Adventure. Indigo Prophecy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it Beyond Two Holes? He made that.
What I call
Great
panic
game.
push.
Yeah. Super hot Ellen Page. Look at the actual nude model that somehow they made nippling on, but never wanted to show it. I don't understand.
What?
Thank God for data miners. Am I right, fellas? It's all mocapped, so it's the closest I'll ever
I gotta
get to
find
seeing
all
it.
that.
Well, yeah, man. It's that sort of thing where it's very narrative driven. It's mostly almost like a quick time event sort of game, but it works a little bit better. Because obviously, if you base your entire game around it, it's going to be a little better. So imagine that, but in a sort of kids go out to a cabin. Your very standard horror movie setting. But the decisions you make determines who lives, who dies, right? And every game can end up different. Everyone can die, you get into your game really quickly, or everyone can live, if you're, I guess, that fucking excellent. Now, the VR experience is essentially, well, because PSVR is a sitting experience, which I don't think is a bad thing, right? I don't want to play all however many hours of Resident Evil 7 standing fucking up, like I'm in a standing desk at work, right?
Yeah.
But it's a fun house. You're in a haunted house ride, and you have two guns, like literally like if you ever go to Fiesta, Texas, in San Antonio, where you go the Scooby Doo ride, and you have little laser guns you shoot at shit for some reason, because reasons, right? It's that. It does decently well. I don't know how long it is. I played two
You were aiming
levels of
well.
it.
You were hitting targets very easily.
Yeah,
so
I did have fetal alcohol syndrome in it, and that's
Yeah.
kind of when you brought it up. Because I was trying to look at the guns, right? Like they had like flame decals and shit on it. It's like a goofy amusement ride sort of thing, so it made sense. But it was like,
Yeah.
almost like it was trying to like vibrate through the walls. You know what I mean? But so it wasn't bad. As you mentioned when I was playing it, probably could have been more immersive if I had headphones on rather than listening through it through TV speakers. Not a bad experience.
Which we had headphones, but we were all sitting in the room together.
Right.
So.
And I think there's a huge difference between getting that sense of like vertigo and movement while sitting down, going like because part of the game you're on a coaster,
yeah.
right? It's like the whole game, and you shoot stuff and etc. Now, after playing Windlands for Vive and standing up and having like that Spider-Man fucking web slinging experience, didn't hit me as hard, and that's not a bad thing. Right? That shit's not always the most comfortable way to feel while playing a video game. What I'm trying to say.
Just motion. The feeling of motion in VR is very jarring.
That's one of the coolest parts about it, but I would not say that's the best part about it. Right? Yeah, it's not bad. One thing I would say is a little bit repetitive. Not the environments. The environments were cool. Kind of killed the same people a lot, and I just couldn't stop thinking, like, what the fuck does this have to do with Until Dawn?
Yeah.
I've
I've heard that, like, Josh, like the main character, not the main character, one of the main characters, Josh, I hear it's like basically either like a nightmare that he has or like something that's in his dealing with his psyche. Because there were parts that I think that kind of reflect that, where you see his sisters a couple of times.
I mean, I can see that, but
and the way a lot of the masks that you see, like the
I feel like they could have made a cooler narrative had they ditched the Until Dawn moniker.
Yeah.
And said, hey, you're a dude that gets kidnapped or some shit, and you had to go through this fucking crazy
like a Saw
maze
type
of
thing,
whatever.
like a Saw type.
Right? I think that would be better, rather than me thinking the whole time, like, the fuck does this have to, But, it was...
Is it something that you feel like you'd get if it was on Vive?
That's a hard one, man. Because this is...
Negative.
the thing was, like, when I think back to it, it's almost like the Ludovico effect from Clockwork Orange. Like, I got motion sick playing it, so when I think back to playing it, I start to feel a little bit like, I'm motion sick. Which, like I said, you didn't feel the way. I don't think you did too much either. Could have been like I had to...
I haven't played Until Dawn. Rush of Blood.
I just
I was
I
about to
don't
say,
get
there
motion
is actually a
sickness.
company that specializes in accessories for VR specifically.
VR and VR
And,
accessories.
well, one of them is asshole. One of them is a wristband that you place on, and it apparently affects your equilibrium. I'm not sure.
Oh, like
exactly.
those cool metallic things that
Yeah.
athletes used to wear?
Yeah, that all the
Yeah.
hipsters were running around with. Yeah, but no, it actually puts it uses pressure sensitive points. So there's some legitimacy behind it. I
Val-
haven't tested it, so I can't tell. So
Val, you sure you're not fucking full of shit on that one?
no,
I know
100%.
for a fact
no,
he's
they're
not.
no,
If
that
you
was
go to
Because you
the,
remember the bracelets I'm talking about,
if
right?
you-
no,
the
they're-
ionized bracelets? It's
no,
like,
that's
oh, yeah.
that's kind of what it's like, but it uses acupressure.
If you go to like the GameStop website and go to VR accessories, they're like
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
doubt
there's
the
also
game.
there's
but
also
there's
a
there.
treadmill.
Well, it was at in
Okay.
the last E3. They
Ties
were
into it.
actually there was a booth set up dedicated to it. So,
Right. All right, fair enough.
So, I mean, I am full of shit 90%
I just
of the
give-
time.
I
But,
have to ask when I hear something like that. you know, like-
yeah.
I'm going to move forward a little bit. So I'm going to talk about a couple of games that I didn't spend a lot of time with. I'm going to try to get through them quickly. Bound, which is a game that I played through a few months ago.
we
not
talked
in
about
VR.
that on your
Didn't-
52 experience.
A game that I really enjoyed when I played it at PSX last year. When I played through the whole game, I didn't really care for it. It just felt like there was like this underlining issue with like a girl dealing with her dad leaving her and stuff. It just like
Bound.
Bound,
It's
yeah.
super pretentious and art house.
It is.
for no
Oh,
It
reason.
is
shit.
right up your alley.
So,
So pretentious.
play-
Future feminists in
Bro.
America. Cheers.
So playing it in VR,
So
I was
how
like,
you get
okay, this
ribs.
might actually be cool because the visuals.
Golly.
You don't want to double talk throughout the
No,
whole
you're
thing?
good.
No,
We're
keep
not
going.
talking. You're making this difficult.
That's fucked up.
You're acting like my fucking mom when we've been drinking too much. Like,
Ugh.
you're the problem. You're making
Still
this
this
difficult.
difficult, right? No.
should've
You
gotten
and
an
you and
abortion.
Canada will get along
No,
great, man.
Note to self: no more
Hey,
Festus
Canada.
VR.
No
I know you'll be
more.
watching this.
No mas.
So
I mean it in a good way.
playing it in VR, I was like anxious to see because one of the cooler parts is like there's like a it has a specific art style.
Well, not only that, but I will say it's like it is important to know, not every single fucking VR game has to be first person.
Yeah.
So it is pretty important to know what third person outside of FOV, right,
Yeah.
is going to look like. Or
And
POV.
That's one of the things I was curious
With
about.
Bound,
And that was a game that you could do that with.
they completely restructure the camera to where your head is the camera.
Hmm.
So the cameras aren't positioned in the same place. So the game is designed a little bit with the camera the way it is. You see more, but you also see less because it's constrained by where you're looking.
See,
specifically.
well,
So-
I'm very used to R3.
Yeah.
Just being my typical move the camera around stuff like that. So how did it adapt to?
So what it does is instead is it focuses on an area, and then if you press up on the joystick, it zooms you in and like readjusts to where you're right behind, close up. And if you press down on the joystick, it like comes back a little bit, but
Okay.
it adjusts to like right behind.
Gotcha.
So if you could like turn and then press it, the camera or your head, the camera will move right behind. If
Okay.
you turn this way, it'll move it again. If you press, and if you press back, it'll go backwards.
So would you say it feels more like a Warhawk experience where the camera is pretty much dead set behind you,
if you are constantly pressing up on as you're running around,
Okay.
but that
I
just
feel
doesn't seem logical.
I don't know
So,
if anything compares to Warhawk.
it's-
to be
it's a-
honest.
No,
fucking knew you were gonna say. Oh man, Warhawk's fire, man. I knew
It is. It's
I knew
fire.
it. Sorry, go on.
Sorry. You
No.
may have known it, but it's
no,
fire.
Warhawk
No
did it
apologize
well,
to
but that's
Chainsaw.
what I'm trying to figure out is what is the experience like?
Well, because like it has to be something because it would be the worst fucking thing ever if you pigeonhole VR into just POV experiences, first
Yeah.
person, right? So yeah, how they treat that is fucking very important.
For sure. And it was all right. I mean, it's not something that I plan to go back and like play again. So, another game I played was Kitchen, which is the demo that they were doing before they announced that it was called Resident Evil 7.
Hmm.
So it was a demo where you're just strapped to a chair, and there's like you're in a kitchen, and it looks all gross, and it looks like the kitchen from similar. It doesn't look exactly like.
Well, actually,
'Cause I
that,
heard
that
that it was the
same
same-
scene is in the Resident Evil 7 demo.
See-
After it ends, when the guy comes up and he's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I gotta get you out of here," or whatever, and then he gets attacked. Like that's you. The demo that they originally did was you playing that scene.
the kitchen feels and looks differently. The actual kitchen.
Sure, but like the events or that scene.
Yeah.
So if you've seen that part of the demo,
Yeah, seen
that's kind of what the kitchen demo is to some
And
degree.
IDFI actually, for once, has a legitimate question. So.
You plan on streaming the PSVR sometime soon? I probably am not going to stream PSVR. Primarily being, number one, VR is best experienced, like, from a personal perspective.
Oh,
It
for
just,
sure.
It does not translate well by looking at the screen. And then the way it works is, since the person who is behind the headset is controlling the camera, you expect when you look left that everything is going to move left. But the people who are watching it on a TV have no idea what to expect. So if they're just
I'm gonna
running
feel a
around
neck
back
twitch.
and forth,
You're going to look left.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like I should
it
look
could-
right because I saw
well,
something.
it just doesn't translate. It doesn't translate. And you really can't grasp, like, the shittiest most simplistic looking games from a television in VR can be incredible.
Right.
Just
Actually,
because
one of the VR streams that y'all did, just watching how you were moving around and the stream was directly translating to it, I thought was actually very impressive. So I wouldn't quite throw it completely out the window yet.
You would have to
Maybe-
have someone else
maybe-
there reading comments with you.
Yeah,
But
no, very
I
true.
think,
Very true.
Well, here's the thing. You sit down when we stream, right? Normally. Unless it's a vibe stream, which we don't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Same thing with PSVR, like, but you just have to have someone reading your comments.
Yeah.
You could feasibly do it. Very easy. Yeah. But that's on you, though. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna,
sure.
I'm not
No
going to
kidding.
force you to.
Kurt says, this is like your first stream, stuck on the same slide for ages. In defense,
We also
not
have
really in
4
defense.
people
in
here.
defense, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games we're talking about. Nowadays, we would have a slide for each of those. I just threw them all up on the slide.
Yeah.
So, Wayward Sky is a point-and-click adventure game where the characters and stuff, it's like seeing a big diorama. So there'll be a puzzle you have to solve, and you just, like, point your cursor and you tell the character to, like, go over it. So, like, you're watching the characters around you. It's like you're watching, I guess, them doing things around you as opposed to you controlling the characters. You just point and say, okay, go over there and, like, turn that. Then there'll be a part where where you have to put, like, a wind chime together. So you, like, grab the pieces and put the wind chime.
And that's
then they have to go over and, like,
that's
hit
the most
wind chime.
exciting part about it, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's just you interacting with the direct object versus the environment.
Yep. So, it wasn't bad, but it's one of those that, like, it's something different on VR. So I thought that was kind of PlayStation, or the Playroom VR is like, Playroom was something that came free with PlayStation 4, and it's a bunch of little robots. So it's kind of like a Wii Sports style compilation, but it's not sports.
Mm-hmm.
One of the games I played is a 3D platformer, played similar to like Mario 3D Land or 3D World. And you have to run around and collect little robots. It was one of the first games I showed my wife, and she like really enjoyed it. So the sense of space is really cool. There were mechanics like where since the light bar's on the front of the controller, it'll have like a grapple hook on your controller. So as you're holding it, you have to aim your controller, and then you like flick your screen on the touchpad, and a grapple hook will fly out. And then you can while you're controlling your character, you can have them jump up on the grapple cord, and you can do like that and have them bounce. So it's little like neat ways to interact with the game and the world and virtual reality. So I thought that was pretty cool. There were 5 games on it, but I only played that. PSVR Worlds is a game that I bought the bundle and it came with that. It has like 5 separate experiences, but I only checked out 2. One of them was
Robot game, right?
Yeah. Although Ratify saying, do at least one PSVR. I'm sure they get. I think you could. And also, Fox is saying,
We'll get some feedback
how
on it.
is 100-foot robot golf?
We'll talk about that here in a
I
second.
will definitely talk about 100-foot robot.
So
I'll
there were
critique
2
the fuck
experiences
out
I played in VR Worlds. One where you're in a mech and you're fighting basically bugs and you're jumping around. One of the things I liked about it was it sucks, like the way that the gravity works is it just kind of like sucks you to the ground. So you can pick where you want to like jump to, and you can jump to that particular place. And as you're flying through the air, you can choose to jump somewhere else. So you kind of get a double jump. And that feels really cool because you'll be like, you can jump to a wall, then you can jump to a ceiling. And your mech just kind of transitions
So does it feel
around.
natural to you whenever
Yes.
you're doing it?
So what's cool about doing
that's
mech
the
stuff,
critical thing. Does it feel natural? That's
yeah.
the biggest killer of a game is does it feel good? And
Especially with
I know DKP says that a lot, but I agree with him. Does the game feel good?
For sure.
For
It's
someone
an
who was
important
just
question.
watching him do that shit, it looked awesome.
It
So
looked like
one
he
of the
was
things
just
I really liked
It
about
looked
it
like it
was
was natural. Like it
you're-
didn't look too bad.
Okay.
Like from just someone who was watching the screen while he was playing.
From
It looked
somebody
fine.
who didn't play it, I think it's
I'm
pretty
just
rad.
saying. Like I just
Okay,
saw the
note to
VR
self,
shit.
Next time we do a
It
bunch
didn't
of
make you
different
sick.
games on one
I'm just
slide,
giving you shit.
separated
Like, there was
into 5
plenty of games
slides
that we were
that
playing on
Idify doesn't
VR.
bitch.
I'm just
Well,
giving
there's
you
plenty of
shit.
games that we were playing on VR that I was like, well, if I play this, it's probably me sick. and I don't want to play it. When I was watching him play that, it looked
Wait.
smooth.
Hold on.
Fluid.
Earlier, Eric, as I was pissing, I heard you say, well, some people, like, some pussies don't like VR and a lot of motion.
Did I say
You,
that?
you did say that, and now you're
Me?
saying, I watched some of these games and I was like, it makes
Well,
me
this is the
feel-
only game I watched him
It'll
play
give me
that I
the
was
vapors.
like, well, this looked very fluid. Like I wouldn't get sick playing
So
it.
one of the things I liked about it, when you look down, you're like in a mech, so you can see
Right.
there's like 2 controls that your hands are on, and one of them just moves forward, and then one of them moves side to side, and that's to each of your joysticks. So it's like playing like a first or third person shooter. So when you're walking forward, he's doing like that, and when you want to like turn the mech left and like walk forward and kind of turn, you'll do both. So you can look down while you're controlling it, like, and it just like.
Like while I was,
shifts around.
like well, when
It's
I was
cool.
playing Valkyrie, E Valkyrie, I was like, I see how a lot of pussies could get sick from this game, but me, not me.
Well, it's,
But when I was watching him play that Alien game, it's kind of the same thing.
Let's say, if you've ever-
versus Festus.
if you've ever taken a psychology course, frame of reference, that will fuck you up beyond repair.
What's that?
Frame of reference?
I have not taken a
Okay.
psychology course. Took sociology.
Well, I
The
The
dropped,
idea,
Not
I dropped
the
close
idea is
out.
that
enough,
you want to be able
my
to look down and
friend.
connect with the thing.
So,
Either
so if
ends.
something, if an environment like IMAX Theater when it first came
Right,
out
right, right.
completely encompasses all of your visual cortex, then your balance will try to automatically adjust for it.
Okay, yeah.
So that's why you get the motion sickness and stuff. At the beginning of any IMAX experience, they say, if you feel motion sickness, go close your eyes. If that doesn't work, well, walk to the nearest exit.
Get
Whatever.
the fuck out.
Exactly. Go. Yeah. So when you're actually affecting the visual cortex, it's because your inner ear is not in sync with what you're seeing. You're so used to your balance. If I look this way, I know I feel this. If I
Right.
look straight on, I'm supposed to feel this. So your inner ear cortex, that sounds stupid. Anyway, so your inner ear is affecting your balance, the pressure differential.
Yeah.
And your, and so whenever you're looking at something, if it's not matching, that's what's causing your motion sickness. And apparently that's what the pressure point, wristlet,
Well, I will say,
Game Boy Advance stuff is for.
with Until Dawn, going from like decent res to the loading screen was
Too
like
much scientific
a
explanation.
baby floating around, right? No, like literally like watching that, and then when it went black and
know
it
it,
wasn't really
right?
black, and I didn't know where to look,
love you.
that like
I
made me
love
feel
him,
like
but I hate
shit.
him.
It's weird things that I didn't think would did. Like, there's no true black in PSVR. It's like you can still see the big lit screen. So when it's like, okay, fade to black, right?
So it's,
You don't feel
it's
like you're in
light
the dark.
gray.
Worse than that, because you can still see the pixelation.
Yeah.
And it was weirdly enough those things, seeing that like in those long load times, that made me like I could. That's when I started noticing like that I was feeling.
You've been spoiled by
sick.
LED, haven't you?
I fucking suppose so.
spoiled.
Festus, talk about 100-foot robot golf.
100-foot robot golf. Maybe not the best PR or PSVR game.
You're not selling it already.
All right, well, would you just stay here and listen to me?
Fail.
Maybe not the PSVR game, but the commentary might make it the game of my year. Like, just alone. Because there's, like, you get to choose who you're playing against, or who your character is. And you can either choose, what do we decide, between the headless character that his name was Mason, or it was a 5-character Corgi.
All right, just shut up.
Alright, well, I'm ruining it.
No, you're just not doing a good enough job.
I'm not doing
explaining.
a good enough justice, but if you play...
You're not doing good enough job.
Well, y'all are
explaining.
the experts.
So,
So,
it's
Yeah,
a golf
come on.
game.
Come on, dude.
Come on,
Prep Ape.
Tim do it great.
it's a golf
'cause
game where you
Best
play
ain't do it
mechs.
great enough.
Golf game where you play mechs. So there are different anime style characters that you can choose from.
You're already bailing.
One of the characters is a head in a jar named Mason.
Mason. That's where I was going. And you were like, you're
Sorry.
fucking it
No,
up.
I'm sorry.
Was he
Head
like
named
that?
Mason.
Well, no, what's
Was he
funny
like
is
that?
I
I'm fucking
one
up.
of my good friends' last name is Mason, so you know I just gotta fuck with them on.
It's the idea that his head is in a jar. and his
Yeah,
head is Mason that makes
yeah.
it funny. There, you also play as there's a particular team or a particular character that's 5 corgis.
Who
And they-
originally chose
And
that
you love
character?
Oh yeah, I love corgis.
Who
One
originally
of them-
chose
Corgis
that
are pretty
5-team corgi?
One of the corgis looks like Solid Snake. He's got a patch and he's got dog tags on. One of them has just a comb. One of them is wearing a bandana. One of them has like Elvis hair. And I can't remember what the other
You
one is.
can't even
But
name
they-
it what they're
they
called.
play-
Project C.
Okay.
Project C.
Bro, what are you doing right
Well, you're hating on me.
You sound like fucking Meatwad. Man, you hating on me? Wait, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, I can.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna contract you out here soon
Yeah.
for some VO work.
now? Everybody wants us to keep it moving. We're trying so hard.
I'm trying so hard.
swim them?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining the best worst Prep Ape.
It really
Might be
is.
the best prep.
I will
ape.
say this is the first time we've ever had 4 people on Prep Ape, and also 4
Do you see this sexy bastard right here?
Hey,
2
James,
whiskey
you-
swilling folks on Prep Ape.
You're not allowed to drink before you do Prep Ape.
That would make this unfun.
I came over to your house at 12.
It is making it unfun.
I was about to say between the
Oh,
2
I'm
of us,
sorry.
we've killed half a bottle
No
of
apologies
liquor,
on Prep
so
Ape.
no,
No
we're good.
apologies.
I was just apologies, Tommy.
Oh, you're Billy Bob Thornton. You're slurring now. All right,
Trying.
Tommy. How about that 100-foot robot golf? Why don't you?
Yeah, how's 100-foot robot golf, Tommy?
Okay, so you're in mechs, but you're playing golf. There are buildings everywhere. You can also fight each other while you're playing golf. The best part about the game that Festus
So
is
can I
trying to
sock
talk
you in the
about-
face while I was playing?
Project
Yes,
C.
That's awesome. All right.
That's
So-
all, Project C is all I asked you to talk about.
I just did. That's the 5 corgis.
Alright.
That are in a mech. And the mech looks like Voltron, which is there.
Solid
So,
Snake fucking corgi.
The best part about the
Heard.
game is the commentators who like explain what's going on while it's
Are
happening.
they like what is it,
No,
MXC
they're hilarious.
commentators
What
or-
what is
It's
it about
similar to
Ryan
that.
Gosling that was so funny?
I don't-
It's like the same Ryan Gosling, but this guy's driving.
Give me ribs.
You know what I'm saying?
Wait,
You know what I'm saying? Like that's the game is
Apparently, I gotta
filled
get him.
with shit
It's a
like
rule,
that.
dude.
I don't
Like I ain't
love you,
even
but I'm
lying.
not.
Arby's
Like
Corpse
they
is the guy
straight-
in the shirt.
Arby's Corpse, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Holy shit! We're
You know-
ruining it. I'm sure
No,
that's
no.
what it is.
No, listen, like, the one thing you've ruined, Festus, is when I just
Everything.
when I just did the give me them ribs, you gave it
Well,
back to
okay,
me.
no, we gotta
You're
go
supposed
look.
to pass it to Val, and then I'm supposed to get Tommy's.
I
ribs
give him
back.
to
Honestly,
everybody.
we gotta go look back up because
Pop,
about
pop,
5
chicken
people
head.
pointed
Pop,
up, and we haven't
What-
looked at that.
They
I
said
have
keep
looked
it
at it. It said
moving.
keep
as
it
well.
moving.
And they're loving how we're moving it. I like to move
nice.
it, move
Okay.
it. What? I
All
like
right.
to move it, move
Let's
it.
just go-
What?
let's
All
just
right,
go
all
to
right.
the
I'm gonna
stuff
take
one.
one person out of the
All right.
equation for a few
We're gonna-
minutes.
No, if anybody needs to take my questions to me, I need to smoke a cigarette.
That's what I'm
We'll
going.
go.
All right, then
Fuck
we're
this
going to
nigga.
smoke money real quick.
No, I'm right here.
All
It's
right,
too late now.
Arby's Corp, today's Prep Ape is not a reflection of their normal Prep Ape.
Dude, Arby's Corp is lying. It's totally a reflection.
Well, no, Arby's Cora showed up on our last prep.
Yeah, which that one wasn't a normal one either. So
Well, this one,
He's
this
just
one,
in
like
for all
we
kinds of
intended
train
to be
wrecks.
very loose, shitty, like just to have fun. Right?
Yeah.
This is the closest we've ever had to like a Zod stream in a long time. Right?
I don't know.
Were the
I'm
old
giving it
days?
to you real
Bondanza.
and
Yeah.
straight.
When Bond Danzing actually happened on stream, you've seen it. You've seen it here. All right, so
And you can slowly watch him transition as he takes a new shot.
I know.
Take a
I
shot,
was-
and then he
Dude,
just
hey, no, it's gonna reverberate through the mic. But I was watching those shaky hands going and dropping whiskey.
I wouldn't do it fetal whiskey shot syndrome. It is what it is.
Go-
I suppose
dude,
it is, huh?
do me a favor and go back and rewatch this.
Do you just
episode.
always stop talking? I'll just talk.
Even
All
if
right.
we asked you to.
So
you
look,
wouldn't.
the next 2
Alright,
topics
stop.
we're gonna save for next week. But I did have excellent audio production for these, so I'm gonna let those play.
Dude, perfect.
All right, and the other one we're gonna talk about tonight.
that we were going to talk about. We're going to
God,
say
these
both
transitions.
Well, I know
fucking
until
hate them.
J-Con got here. It was
We're going to say
terrible.
both of these for next week.
I forgot what this one was. And it was actually I created that one. we'll be talking about
That was
digital.
brewed right here in DKP's body.
And, alright, we got Win Stuff Money now.
Let's do Win Stuff Money.
Alright, so Win Stuff Money. By the way, I see the Comic Sans up there.
ruining
Well
the show
done.
for you.
No. it's quite the opposite. If you have the table, though, you're gonna shake
Well,
the mic.
I won't put my foot on there.
Well, fuck, the mic's on the table. You're gonna be shaking it.
I mean,
You're gonna
just
hear
put
it.
right there.
We're almost done, alright? We're wrapping. Keep your fucking feet
Win
down.
Stuff Money, guys. You can win a $25 Amazon gift card if you can figure out what box art's behind
You know,
that
if
question
Arby's
mark.
Corp hadn't joined, we'd just
That's
roll
all
right
it
with it.
is.
But I do think it's important that
What's up,
Arby
Brian?
Corp knows how he can win stuff money. 'Cause
Well,
we didn't,
Army
do,
Corps
we didn't do it last
week.
weekend. We didn't do it last week.
Yeah.
So this is new for Arby Corp. So we're gonna go and go over the rules of Win Stuff Money. So this is the chance to win a $25 gift card. If you do win it, make up a fake email address. It doesn't matter. We need someone to send the gift card to if you don't trust us for some reason or another. Now, what's going to happen is behind here we do have a box art. We're going to slowly remove one box at a time. First person to guess what actual game that is wins a $25 Amazon gift card. That's Win Stuff Money. You got to at least wrap the show with us.
Come on. Yep. Mega Man
All
X
right,
2.
so-
Oh, shit. Mega Man X, I'm all in.
Piece of shit. I'm kidding. It's not Mega Man X. All right, so we're gonna go and go. Once again, this episode we did put extra hard production work into it. So
The hardest I've ever seen in all my years of working with Preparation Ape.
put your fucking feet down, Festus.
Can they see that side?
Probably.
They can hear it. I promise you. So yes, here we go. In fact, I think that should be a
Is
mainstay.
that from Trolls 2?
I think that should be a mainstay for every single.
That is from Trolls
Stuff
2, to
Money.
be correct,
No, you don't think we
right?
should keep that? Yeah.
Those were amazing movies.
No, they weren't.
No,
UPN was the only place that played them.
but they were great movies. I loved them. Underpaid, but, for the production that they had, I loved them.
Here.
I love Morticia. You're like trying to banish me
I'm
from
saying
pain.
I'm fucking allergic to cats.
babysitter, man.
Man, my cat puked. You were like,
No, you're
Okay,
a cat. Fucking
I'm already sick and fucking tired
Who's
of
got
hearing that. They're about to get it.
are they though?
No,
I'm doubting.
they will. In the
Mr.
next
Kurtzan!
Armored Core 5.
Mr. Kurtzan, Dead Rising.
Dude, he's killing
Wait,
it.
I thought y'all were expecting specific.
This is so much worse than I thought it'd be when I copy and pasted the sound effect.
I mean, y'all were like, I don't want these guys showing up here. And we're
Please
here.
in this. We're almost done. See, the secret.
No, Mr. Kurtzan nailed it.
I'll let you guys on an
Dude, Morticia's like, la, la, la,
I'll let you
la,
guys
la,
on an
la,
industry.
la.
Oh, hold on, what?
La, la, la,
Put it on
la,
the back
la.
because she does this crazy, like, she starts like do this weird
That's
fucking
what I'm
thing.
saying.
That's where it gets weird, man.
La, 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 la,
A little bit
la.
of an industry
But
secret
I have to
here.
give it to you, like,
Right?
y'all posting Harambe as your background meme, it's so fucking
The bottom left one is
progressive,
always
it's
the last one we do,
ridiculous.
so we know which one.
It's progressive. It's so progressive.
He's your suit, Larry. I love it.
Alright,
Arby's,
so-
Arby's Corp, you know where it's at.
Mr.
Alright?
Kurtzan
Arby's
nailed
Corp.
it.
Also,
here.
Yeah.
I really want to fucking hit up Mr. The Thoughts for mentioning Mavis Beacon teaches typing. Did anyone
No
else have that shit?
Oh
Dude,
my
if
god.
Mavis wants to teach typing, I will eat Big Bacon burgers.
Thank you guys for joining episode 51 of Preparation 8.
The best, worst
Hey,
episode.
this was not the worst
Closed out.
episode you've ever seen.
No, it's the- it's
it
the
might have been the best.
Well, so would y'all agree?
It's Val's
four
first
people,
episode and Festus is last. Yeah.
so
Hey.
would y'all agree? 4 people is too many.
We're saving the questions for next week. No,
No
Yeah.
questions.
no, four people is not too many yet.
I defy. I
think
love
that-
you. No matter how much
I
you
think-
hate me, I love you.
I think given under different circumstances, and if we practice at having more than a couple people, it could really be done well. And I'm not bummed out the way it went. This
No,
was
I'm not
supposed.
either.
There's a reason why we're ending with Troll 2. I knew
it was fucking
it
spectacular.
was gonna be a shit show. That's why the green screen doesn't fit. That's why. Fucking let's look at this. The first slide Major Tom made. For fuck's sake, man! Look at that new artwork we got.
I think Morticia's peeing on me. That's how great she thinks that was.
So yeah, gentlemen, I would like to say thank you to our two guests here, who are personal friends of ours.
I want to say thank
very
you to
good friends.
everybody that stayed here, because
Yeah,
if they hadn't, I wouldn't have.
And Mr. Kurtzen, it's my week this time to buy Prep Ape money. Do win stuff money. So send me your email address where you want it to go, and I'll get it to you. Probably tomorrow. I'm gonna be real honest. So Val, or as we call you, Jed, and Festus, aka Techaslade.
Here.
Guys, what did you take away from your first Prep Ape?
About as
Prep
chaotic
No,
as I
not you.
figured it would be.
Yeah, with this mother. Yeah. And Festus, for your what, third Prep Ape?
Hope I didn't kill this show for y'all.
No,
That's
no,
the
no.
only thing I hope.
No apologies on
Look,
Prep Ape.
we did 50.
No,
we
I
did-
love y'all's fans,
This
and I
is-
love y'all having me a part of this.
This is your
shit.
third episode, so we did before this 46 great episodes.
I just ruined it right
So
now.
no, you're not gonna ruin anything. We have 46 other ones that you aren't on that did great.
You can fall
So
back
don't worry about it, man. You good, baby.
I love you all.
on. Festus is now drunken Texan Festus in my head.
I've always drunken Texan Festus.
You know, here's one thing I do like. We did change it up a bit tonight. Not only with this piece of shit slap. There's Dat Boys in the first fucking
Dude,
3
I mean, that was the most spectacular thing y'all have ever done on the show.
You're welcome.
Was having so many Dat Boys on there. I can't hate.
People see what the room is like. There's a fridge there.
You see what the quality of the show is with that many Dat Boys on different slides. You can't deny.
You really can't.
You really can't.
I'm with you on that one. But guys, thanks. Tommy will be back on Sunday.
I'll be back Sunday.
All right.
Dat
And,
Boy will probably gone Sunday. I think I'll probably be heading back by that time.
Oh shit, what up?
I don't know. Oh shit, what up? I might be here Sunday, but I don't want to kill us.
Put that ape on the
Vibe, if you know what I mean. Then
I'll
vibe.
get you, baby. So, you
I
guys
just want
want
my liquor? Bullshit. Sorry.
do you guys want to give a sign off?
I'm Mage Tom.
I'm Val Lars.
Val, or you forgot that.
Techaslade, aka
Yeah, I mean-
Festus, aka Fetus. Take your pick.
It's either that or
But
Val Clitoris,
this
as
is-
y'all have called me.
DKP. And fellas, you have a great night. We'll see you next time.
Bye
Goodbye.
everyone.
Peace the fuck
I'm
out.